Hello, everybody. Welcome to our new stream for a homebrew that I created called Eclipse Night Eternal. It's something that I've been working on for quite some time. We got a couple new faces here.
6 hours.
Who are you?
I'm Allison.
Allison.
Is that all? What do I need to say?
And who are you?
I'm Nate. I've never played this ever in my entire life, so.
Yeah, this will be fun, man.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
going to be really fun.
So if there's any watchers that see us currently, it'll probably be a little different because there won't be as many people telling me that the things that I'm saying rule-wise are wrong.
So we normally try to do a good idea on Thursday. Good job on Thursday.
And I won't have an annoying whistle next to me the entire time.
Oh God, yeah.
Bill, his bird character.
Bill's character.
Constantly
I can't
mentioning
whistle,
your
Good.
passive perception when I ask for active perception rolls.
Love you, Bill.
Love you, Bill. But what's up?
We are missing one person. It's another new player that's going to be here our next session.
So we're planning on doing this as early as every 2 weeks. If the schedule doesn't permit that, it might be like once every 3 weeks to a month. But we'll kind of hop in, and we hope you guys enjoy. So here's kind of the intro to what's going on. So 2 months ago, a second moon slowly ascended and encompassed the entire circumference of the sun. The new moon has created a state of fear and confusion as cities have fallen into a state of chaos. Leaders have amassed but have been unable to come to a conclusion for this phenomenon. Just when we thought things couldn't get any worse, a month ago, bursts of red fluttered from the moon as monolith-shaped stones crashed into the earth. Ravens initially brought word that this was a common occurrence throughout all the major cities, but the updates have stopped over a 10-day ago. Strange growths have begun appearing on those among the lower class without homes outside the city. Rumors of strange behavior and violence among these groups have been spreading. There are even rumors of radical groups forming, viewing this all as a sign from the gods. A meeting amongst the nobles and lawmakers of the city has been called to discuss how to handle the unease and rumors traveling throughout the denizens of the city. So everybody's kind of given me a little bit of an idea of how they're coming to the city. The city is called Delora, named after the rulers of this area, King Bonham Delora and hopefully my computer doesn't go super slow. Bonham Delora and Valletta Delora, the husband and wife that kind of rule as the main noble family of the city. So I will start off with the person who lives there. So kind of knowing what I just showed you about you living in the slums as a current slum resident for the Delora area, what would you currently be doing? So just to give everybody a heads up, like I said with the little explanation, the cool thing about this is right now for 10 days, or 2 months actually. So anybody who doesn't know, a week in the D&D universe is 10 days, why it's called a 10-day. So for 80 days now, it has been complete and utter darkness, no sunlight whatsoever. So it's driving people a little crazy. So thinking about kind of the actions that have been happening, like I just said, a lot of the people in the slums are starting to get really crazy. So it has probably been mass hysteria, chaos out in the slums.
Robberies, lots of robberies.
People going missing, so on and so forth. Being an urchin, you probably would be a little better suited to kind of try to hide in the shadows to avoid some of this craziness.
Right.
So what would you currently be doing, knowing that there's a meeting starting in the city? People are starting to arrive to go to this meeting. What sort of interests would you be having at a time like this?
I guess I would be trying to find some food first. I'd probably be in the alleyways, probably moving from, street side, looking for some food, and then making my way up towards where all all the meetings other people are arriving to.
So would you be in the slums or around the trade district right now, inside the actual keep?
Probably the trade district.
Okay, so you're just kind of keeping a low profile, just keeping an eye out, seeing what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what sort of people are attending this meeting? Obviously, I know my side of it, but
So
are there
it's-
like leaders of other cities or like?
So as far as you know, your character being from where you're at, they haven't heard word, and your mentor has told you this. They've sent out a lot of letters to people,
Mhm.
but they haven't heard a lot back from those people. You being in more of a protected area, such a large, huge citadel,
Yeah.
you kind of give me an insight check.
Okay. First roll of the game. 14.
You kind of get an idea, especially talking to your mentor, that your citadel might be faring a little better than a lot of the other areas. And from what you've heard so far, other than the main lawmakers and the royal family in the city,
Mm-hmm.
you and your mentor are one of the only ones coming as one of the main speakers for this meeting.
Okay.
He has also told you that it's not really a public meeting. It's more of a just kind of in-house, let's try to figure out what's going on. Knowing that your citadel is big on historians, keeping track of things.
Yeah.
They want to bring you guys in for the most part because they feel like you would have the best knowledge of how to fix what's going on or just in general what is happening.
Okay.
So I'll move to you next. So like I kind of already told you what you guys would be
Yeah.
doing to get there. So your mentor is what race is he?
I think we said he was human.
Human.
Yeah.
His mentor, a human named Gotama, is a high-level wizard that has kind of. Did you want to kind of keep your backstory or say anything about what your situation?
I mean, I
is
can.
with him?
The thing I'll divulge now is that I'm a recent graduate of the Chromatic Citadel's Mage Academy. So I'm fresh out of college. I'm a young 20-year-old half elf. Looks more human than elf. I guess my ears would kind of give it away. A lot of the members of the Chromatic Citadel, they're pretty clean cut. They all kind of wear the same robes. Some of the mages of higher ranking wear more elaborate robes. They have a badge that they usually wear that displays that they're a member of the Citadel. And I haven't really thought about what it looks like, but it does incorporate like a rainbow sort of thing. Not like a typical rainbow, but like probably like a triangle with like
the different colors. Of
the
gotcha.
chromatic spectrum going through there, and each color represents the different schools of magic.
Is it but it's obviously a highly known symbol. So
Yeah,
if somebody were to
Citadel-
see you with that badge, they would obviously know who
Yeah.
you were.
Most people hold the Citadel in high regard. Some people don't trust them because they normally, whatever happens within the Citadel, like it's not normally public knowledge.
Gotcha.
And obviously somebody of my rank being a new, like a third, I think I said it was like a third class mage, I even don't know a lot of the stuff that goes on too because I'm not high enough ranking.
Okay.
Gotama may know, but yeah, there's a lot of people that trust them because they manage a lot of the magic that goes on, but there's a lot of people that don't trust them as well. So
Gotcha. Real quick, if you just want to describe your character.
My character, yeah, he is a Kenku monk. I'm gonna say he's probably getting up there in age, maybe I don't know, 50s, 60s. He went to training long time ago, and then I want to say his master, I guess if you will, kind of betrayed him. So he just said, "Screw it, I'm out of here." So my character left and tried to find a life here in Delora and couldn't really make it, and then all of a sudden this stuff started happening. So.
Okay. So we'll get to when you arrive with him.
that's fine.
So you two, you currently are arriving at the Delora port by ship. As you get off the ship, you are greeted by the dock master. As you arrive, you see bustling crowds. You can tell a lot of them are just like fishermen. That's what they do for their work. You see a lot of like dilapidated housing along the docks. You can kind of tell that this is more of the people that work out in the water. This is a lot of the homes that they have that are just kind of along the docks here. When you pull up to the port, you'll see that they kind of like along the map there. You see how there's like some string of housing. So that's kind of what you first see, and then you're greeted by the dock master, and he says, "Where you headed?"
We were summoned to appear before the nobles of this place.
Oh, you here for the meeting?
Yes.
All right. Well, follow the path. You're gonna go straight this way. Don't mind the big, weird-looking stone in the middle of the road there. That's kind of probably what the meeting's about. I probably wouldn't suggest touching it or talking to any of the crazy people circling around it. But just go ahead past. You'll see some big-ass doors. Go ahead in there. Start asking some questions.
Your name, sir?
Name's Jerry.
Jerry the Darkness.
Spelled with a G.
Yes.
Jerry, as we make our way towards, I guess, where your nobles are there any decent places to stay that you would suggest?
Yeah, so as soon as you get in the keep there, if you turn to your left, you're gonna see a big tavern.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Cowering Cockatrice.
Say that one time.
The Cowering Cockatrice.
Cowering.
The owner, his name's Thermir. Just talk to him if you want something to eat, some ale. If you want a place to stay, he can help you out.
Thank you very much.
Hey, no problem.
Have you been noticing we had some issues with some of the people aboard the ship, some not so friendly folk?
Yeah, I've had to stab a lot of people lately. It's kind of weird. I don't usually have to stab as many people.
So you
People are definitely acting crazy. It's probably because of this constant night shit going on.
so it's affected here as well.
Yes. Seeing as that's usually like, you know, if you have a son
No. I
locked out, that usually affects everywhere.
I mean, just people acting weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But hey, that's why you're here to figure it out, right?
Yeah. See what we can do.
All right. Well, good luck to you.
All right. Ready?
She's really quiet.
I need a drink.
Or he. You're out there.
Are you still playing the male character?
So, if you guys want to explain what your characters look like.
So Percival Meowington III is a tabaxi, of course, a male tabaxi. He likes to dress very nicely. He's very dapper and also ginger. So
Oh, he's an orange cat.
no soul.
Nice.
Yeah. And you can call him Percy. He's a man of little words.
Let's see how he grows.
Curtis' name is Yas Sharif. He looks more like a caracal. Long ears with black tips.
Like the little pointed hair on the end of them.
Oh, those cats are
Cool. Yeah.
He's a little older, probably around in his 40s. You start to see some of the gray start to form around his mouth. He's usually straightforward. He wants to know what he wants to know and keep going.
So I will say, if you want to go off of the thing we kind of discussed about maybe being from like royalty, or try to think of a reason that you would be invited into the meeting itself, because it's going to be kind of a closed thing. And seeing as you're kind of like an archaeologist and you're there to kind of inspect and see if you can figure out what's going on with the stones, that could kind of be your main reason for being there. So work that into how you would have gotten the invitation to come and sit in on the meeting.
Yeah.
All right. and we'll get to Zane's character in a little bit. So you guys are making your way. You come up to a very low-class housing area. As in the map where you see the stone, you see a very weird-looking monolithic stone sitting right in the middle of the town. You guys probably would have been hearing everywhere that, like I said with the thing, you saw like solar flares coming from the Eclipse, and then it seemed like these almost meteorite-type monoliths just everywhere around. You've been hearing that everywhere. They were just hitting the ground. And then for whatever reason, people are just getting very obsessed with these things. So as you're walking through the city, think of like, like the Freddy Krueger movie when they went back to the hometown and everybody was just crazy.
Yeah.
Like, think of something like that. Like, a lot of people you're coming up to, you're either seeing people just like looking through windows because they don't want to like go outside and get mixed up in it, or you're just seeing people that are just acting completely crazy in the streets. You see a lot of people surrounding this stone, and you see, like, as you approach the castle, and you would have already known this, the guard presence at the front of the keep is very, very heavy. Like, you can tell that what's going on right now, the keep is keeping like a very good hold on what's going on and making sure no crazies come into the keep itself.
Are there, so besides the people being out there, is there anyone doing anything weird regarding the stone? Like,
Give me a perception check.
maybe 19 plus something. I'll say it's probably like a 21.
So as you walk by, you see a couple people that are just kind of like sitting on the stone, kind of like this.
It seems like they're praying.
Give me an insight check.
12.
Not necessarily verbally praying or anything like that, but you definitely get a good idea of the weird obsession that you've heard about for this stuff. Did you want to do anything? Or are you just kind of tagging along?
Kind of just tagging along, observing everybody. Does it seem like there's a lot of people surrounding this monolith?
Give me a perception check.
12.
At this point, you see you're able to take in that there's probably about 10 to 12 people just surrounding the monolith. It's huge. It's enormous. Like, it's probably towering above the houses that are in the area. So it's quite big for enough people to be able to surround it. But you see, I mean, it is very chaotic, but you can still tell that there are people that are still just trying to live their lives to survive, so on and so forth. It's not like people are fighting in the streets or anything. It's just people are acting a little wacky.
Just a quick question, one more. Since we've kind of like traveled around to different locations for our like interests, would these monoliths look the same everywhere, or is this the only place that it's happening?
Have you guys checked out some around the world?
I don't think we've seen any monoliths, but we've seen different tombs that have different writings. So if any of the tombs have had any pictures that might resemble.
So give me a history check.
Can I see them?
If you guys are discussing it yet.
So you can roll for that.
Oh, that's good. 18.
18. There are some markings on this stone as you pass by it, but you guys have never seen anything like this before, and you guys have seen a lot. So that definitely sparks your interest. So I'll say at this point, you guys are approaching the keep. You're just kind of hanging out, taking a look, just seeing what's going on. At this point, I'll say that you enter into the teleportation circle that we discussed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So as you guys finish your teleportation and you enter the other side of the circle, you and Gautama had discussed that he had some friends that work in a enchantment shop in the Delora Keep, and he's known them for quite a while. And as you guys enter, you see two small gnomes that greet you with a smile. And he looks up at you and he says, "Hey there, buddy. And Gotama kind of greets him, and he walks up, and he kind of kneels down and gives him a little hug.
Yeah.
And then you see like the female one walk up, and he says, "What's your name again? Elwyn."
Alwyn.
Alwyn.
Yeah.
He says, "Alwyn, this is Fenton and Valis Zenric, owners of Ogma's Insight.
I'll reach out my hand, shake their hands. And
Nice to meet you."
good to meet you too. Gautama has been a very good mentor of mine, so any friend of his is a friend of mine.
All right, so I know you guys got some business to do, so if you'd like, we can point you in the right direction unless you got anything else you want to take care of.
No, I think the meeting is the important precedent, so.
All right. So they walk you out to the front. Give me a perception check.
D20. Yeah, there you go.
90% of the time, it's just.
Yeah. So then you would add your perception modifier there to your roll.
9.
Oh yeah.
9.
On the way there.
Yeah.
You're just kind of hanging out in the streets, and right now you don't really notice anything of interest. You see a couple people walk out of a shop, but you're used to kind of people going in and out of shops. Nothing really
Okay.
stands out to you. So he walks you out front, and he kind of points you to the keep. When you leave, I'll tell you, if you look at the map, I'll tell you which building you walk out of.
Okay, one of these.
So you're coming out of Ogma's Insight, you walk out of A5.
Okay.
So he kind of leads you to the main street. You kind of come up on that one fountain area that I told you about with the big statue of a male and female human.
Yep.
And he says, so once you get in the keep, if you see somebody who looks like that statue, that's who you're looking for. That's the rulers of the keep here.
Right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And then he points you to that back gate there, to the large area in the back of the map.
Okay.
And at this point, you two approach, and you see guards, or you want to do something else?
Yeah, on the way as we pass the stone, is it possible to take samples of either the stone itself or the surrounding material around it, just to see if we find anything that is of interest?
So what are you doing?
So I'll probably take out a chisel to try to chip at the stone itself, just to take a couple samples of it.
So as you approach the stone, and you take out your chisel and you kind of start to go hit it, some form of madness starts to come over you, and you start seeing visions in your head. And as you're watching him do this, he falls to the ground unconscious.
Well, shit. I would immediately go and check on him and
Okay.
see if he's okay.
You kind of start to shake him a bit, and you start to get a little bit worried, and you try a couple things. Give me a medicine check.
6.
6. It takes you about 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden, your eyes open.
While I'm on the ground.
Whatever you did, the stone didn't like it.
Would I see this happening?
No, you're in the keep.
Okay.
He's still outside in the slums with
Okay.
the stone that's in the slums.
All right.
I'll dust myself off, say,
Well, he's coming
That's-
too. I would like to kind of like walk around the stone and investigate it, see if there's anything like, if it looks like any like traps or kind of like any hidden compartments or something.
I would say, what are you doing to look for traps?
With a hammer and a chisel.
No. Not really.
Knowing what you just saw happen, I'm assuming that you probably wouldn't want to touch it.
No, I don't want to
So
touch
I would
it.
say give me a perception check.
Okay.
Rolled really high on that.
11.
11.
Yeah.
You look around and you don't really see anything that's trapped. You see some symbols, kind of like before when you guys were doing like your history check.
Mm-hmm.
No symbols that kind of mean anything to you.
Okay.
say, just get some samples of the dirt, and we'll make our way inside.
All right. So you guys approach and you see the guard presence, and as you approach, you see they have the two main ones up front have a couple glaives, and they kind of do that whole thing where each of them puts it out and makes an X, and they say halt.
Say, show the invite.
I'll pull one out of my
Okay.
pocket.
They take it and they read it and they say, our apologies, but as you can see, things aren't exactly normal here, and we just have to be careful who we're letting in the keep. So, do you need directions or?
Sure. And is there a place to stay inside of the keep?
Yeah, if, as soon as you walk in and you take a left there, you're looking for the Cowering Cockatrice. It's the local inn and tavern. You can find a place there. And then what you want to do is you'll see this fountain. Just follow the fountain straight down, and you'll see a couple set of doors there, and there's the main castle entrance that you're looking for.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
Do you mind if we get that back?
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. So, what's your passive, Justin?
Perception 12.
Yeah, 12. Okay. So where are you guys headed first?
As we're walking, are there any lingering effects from me being unconscious?
Currently, no. You didn't get any visions or anything. You just weirdly everything went black, and then you woke back up, and you seemed to shake it off instantly.
Okay. I'll try to say probably best if you want your drink, we can get checked in and get that all settled. So we go to the tavern.
Okay.
And was it still raining, by the way? I know you said it was. Gonna be a lot
It's
of rain.
yeah, it's kind of think like Seattle. Like it's all just kind of like
I'd be
muggy and rainy.
covered
and-
in like clothes because obviously I hate the.
So you enter the Cowering Cockatrice, and you see a few tables, but unlike a lot of taverns you go to, it's not really crazy. You see a couple people at tables, and you see a middle-aged male dwarf standing behind the bar, just kind of cleaning glasses.
Any guard presence in here?
In here, no.
Theramir, I suggest.
Yes, it's nice to meet you. What's your name, sir?
Yes.
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 Who's your friend?
You can call me Percy.
Oh, nice to meet you, Percy. So, what can I get for you?
For me, I just need a room for us both.
All right.
And one large ale, please.
All right. So, an ale will be 4 copper pieces.
Where's my money on this thing?
Under equipment, probably.
Oh, no, that's it.
And what's the
Like
standard
how
cost
it's
of a
printed.
stay?
5 silver.
It would have been there.
So, are you looking for 1 room or 2?
One room will be fine for now.
All right, that will be 5 silver pieces. Was it copper or silver?
Silver.
5 silver.
Yes.
This thing didn't print my money.
You have 10 gold. Everybody starts with 10 gold usually.
Yeah. Depends on what background
Why
you pick.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Am I blind and can I not read?
So,
What is it?
Should be up front, right? No.
Oh, yeah.
Noob.
I'll give him a gold. So do you have any change for that, sir?
Absolutely. And he gives you your change.
How much was it?
Yours was 4 copper, and the room was 5 silver.
Yeah, I pay for the room. You don't have to worry about it.
So, is there anything else that I can do for you?
No, you gotta hit.
I guess information.
All right.
People outside are pretty weird, especially with this stone.
Yeah, luckily the god presence has helped keep most of those out of here. Some people a little smarter than others have their ways to hide it and get past, but luckily we have enough gods in here to take care of those when they do.
What have they been doing in terms of being affected by the stone?
So, there's word that there's cult-like activity happening around the area. People are getting a little too obsessed with this, and who knows what they're doing out in those woods.
And when did the stone get here?
1 month ago.
I assume there's torches everywhere if it's pitch
Yeah.
black. Yeah.
So that's another good thing is who has dark vision, who does not.
I have many cats have dark vision.
You, I don't think you do. No, he does not.
So just keep in mind that any areas that you go to that don't have just standard torches, like in the city or around like the slums, you'll need to light a torch just to be able to see.
Okay.
And he tells you that so you have business in the city, or are you just getting away from the madness?
A little bit of business.
I see.
A little business. No,
You're looking for work, or?
not at the moment. Not at the moment, but we'll see perhaps in the near future.
All right. Well, if you're looking for work, I know of a couple people that could probably use assistance. I've heard that Fury Ulanala at Talentum Alchemical, or Agnes Avicia at the Fresh Feast, are looking for some people to take care of something for them.
And what is the alchemical owner's name again?
Fury Ulanala, Phirie Ulanala.
I'll probably get that from you.
And she is the owner of Talentum Alchemical. And then also Agnes Avicia at the Fresh Feast. He says, I think they have a common request, but depending on what you might need to shop for, I'm sure you can find work at either.
Sounds good. Thank you for the info.
No problem.
Well, you can have fun with your drink. I'm gonna go get rest. Let me go upstairs. I would have took the samples of the.
So you do know that the meeting is
Oh, is it now?
this evening.
This evening?
Yes.
Is it right now, or is it a little bit?
Give me an insight check.
17.
So you know that the ship, with your talks around the city of who you talked to, the dockmaster, so on and so forth, the boat arrived a little later than you had hoped for, and you actually arrived there right in time to try to get to the meeting on time.
Okay. So I would say just drop my gear off.
Okay.
And say, once you're finished, we can go to the meeting.
I'll just chug it, burp, and leave.
Okay. So, where are you currently?
Heading into the keep.
Okay.
Ready for the meeting.
So
I'm mainly just following Gautama since he's the higher ranking
Okay.
mage here.
So how it would have timed, as you're leaving the Cowering Cockatrice, you'll see an elderly human and then a half-elven, well-dressed pair walking in the same direction that you are towards the keep.
We're both wearing sort of the same, like, robes. And from the bottom it's like black, and then it quickly fades to like gray, into like this very like gray, and they're like almost sort of futuristic looking, but yeah, that's the best description.
It definitely catches your eye.
Yeah.
They're dressed very differently than most you've seen in this area.
And if you've been around the continent before, you've definitely heard of the Citadel, the Chromatic Citadel.
So give me another perception check.
That's good.
What was mine? 3, so 21.
So you see two cat people walking towards the keep.
Okay.
And you do notice them. They stand out a bit. There's not a lot of tabaxi around this area. You have quite a few different types of people, but tabaxis aren't common to this area. You've heard of them before. You've seen them because you are kind of a little older, but not so much around Allure.
Okay. I guess I would start to follow them. It's kind of weird, seeing two tabaxi, so I kind of...
Are you trying to be stealthy? Or?
Yeah, I'm going to be stealthy.
Give me a stealth check.
12. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no. It's at the bottom. 5.
So
Yeah,
14.
14.
14? What's your passives?
I think mine's at 12.
Passive.
Perception?
What? Perceptive, mine's 13.
13. And what's yours?
12.
Well, you're kind of ahead of them, so you
Yeah.
probably wouldn't notice. So you feel as if they have not spotted you.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
So you approach the keep door first.
Mm-hmm.
You see a couple guards, and they say, "Oh, hello, sir. Sirs."
This is my mentor, Gautama. I am Aluanadrazol.
I see your symbols. I'm sure you're here for the meeting.
Of course.
All right. Right this way, sir.
Thank you.
And they kind of open the doors, and you see a large keep, kind of taking up most of the space in this little cordoned off area here. And he kind of points you to the main door.
Okay.
It says, please just knock on the door, and somebody will meet you and take you to the meeting.
Thank you. As we're walking, I want to converse with Gautama real quick. Sir, do you think after the meeting we'd be able to take a look at this monolith? I'd like to see sort of, what this thing is, what it looks like. I think it might help with the investigation.
All in due time, young one. Let's get through this meeting, and we will discuss plans for after the fact once it is over.
You're right, sir. Excellent.
And then at this time, you two approach the guards, and they say, how may we help you?
I'll take out the invitation again for the meeting.
Oh, all right. Right this way. They open the door, point you in the same direction. As the door opens, you see the same two well-dressed people entering the main keep. So you
knock on the door. Yeah.
Yes.
We're here on Citadel business for the meeting with the Lords of Dolor.
Oh, well, right this way, sir. And you see like an elderly halfling butler, kind of well dressed, and he leads you into the. As soon as you enter the door on that map, it's going to be that larger room to the right.
Okay, number 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question for you, Justin. Are there any names that people call the Chrome Citadel acolytes?
Usually, you can refer to them as either
either good names or bad names that they refer to them as.
Usually just mages of the Citadel is normally what they're referred to as. Like, mages in my rank are just mages. We are separated by like 3rd, 2nd, 1st class, and then there's like archmages and.
But for common people who aren't in there, they just
they can refer to them by name. There's no formality. So.
All right. So at this time, same thing happens. You meet the halfling butler. He guides you into the hall. As you guys enter, you see a large table. The two people you guys would have noticed as you walked by the large statue sitting in the fountain. Would you have taken a look at that?
I probably would have noticed it on the way.
Okay. You see a male and female, well-dressed human kind of carved into a big stone statue. And as you guys enter, and you guys are right behind them at this point, you guys notice that a couple tabaxi kind of come up behind you.
Are there any other people here besides us?
So as the doors open, you see the husband and wife that were on the statue sitting at the main end of the table, and then you see one other man sitting to the left of them.
Okay, what does this man look like? And do I recognize him?
Let me see.
And what were the Lord and Lady of Dolores named?
Bonham and let me find it. I've got spreadsheets.
Bonham is the male.
Yes, Bonham and Valletta. And you would know their names. You would also know, Gautama would look over to you and say, the man sitting to the left of them is Bonham Dolores' main advisor. He is of House Estum, one of the other noble families that live in the city. And he is, let's see, he's a human man, kind of receding hairline, kind of dark hair, just kind of with a cul-de-sac, well dressed, not too heavy, but a little bit thick.
Okay.
With just 2 C's, not 3, as in Bill said the other day. And give me a perception check.
Okay. 9.
Nothing really stands out to you.
Okay.
So do you guys say anything to each other?
What was the advisor's name?
His name is Ernesto Estem.
Okay.
And as the doors open, Bonham stands up, very, very kind but stern, and he just says, "Welcome, guests. I'm glad to see you were able to make it. From what I've heard, it doesn't seem like others have been able to do the same. Quite worrisome, but we'll have to do what we can. I'm just glad to see that you were able to make it, Gotama." And he says, "Absolutely. I know the importance of the situation, and there's no way that I would miss this." And he kind of invites you, and he says, "Oh, welcome."
Thank you very much for having us.
Absolutely. I've invited you to here for your expertise in artifacts, and hoping that you could give us some insight to that situation. I think we will all have much to discuss here. So please take a seat, and we will get started. So as you all sit,
When I sit down, I'm going to lean into Gautama's ear. Be like, "Sir, if you don't mind, if you don't mind if I could take the lead on this, sort of get some of my statecraft honed in a little bit. I know I'm kind of new to this."
this level of meeting, I don't mind if you speak, but I would say that it's probably better for me to address them. I've known them for quite some time, but I will give you opportunity to speak as well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And he says, "I have brought you all here to discuss the recent worries that the Delora estate, as well as everywhere, has noticed since the coming of the monoliths. We have heard of recent cult-like activity with a growing obsession involving the denizens of the slums. People are going missing, and I wanted to know if any of our guests have noticed any similar concerns in their corresponding lands." And as either of you start to speak up, Gautama actually steps in at this point, and he says, "Similar behaviors have been noticed near the Citadel. Groups have been sent to observe, but I have not had time to obtain reports of their findings. I would like you to know that your issues are shared throughout the realm." And Ernesto, his advisor, kind of speaks up, and he says, "I, unlike others, feel as though these problems will work themselves out. Those in the slums get bored and will eventually find the stones are just that, large, unimportant rocks." Bonham looks at him and says, "Your positivity might settle my nerves. If we weren't living in darkness for, 2 months now? There's obviously something wrong here. Gautama, have we researched this eclipse to see if there have been any times like these in the history books?" And he speaks up and says, "We have not found any information so far. We will continue our studies to see if we can learn anything about this phenomenon. Please continue to reassure your people. Let them know that we are doing everything in our power to figure out what is happening." And Bonham speaks back up and says, "We know you are, Gautama. I know your time is valuable and you must make your leave shortly. I don't want to keep you any longer than needed, but if you have anything else that any of you would like to discuss, now is the time. Please feel free to contribute."
I'll just mention that as we walked by and took a look at the monolith, the markings on it weren't anything that we'd seen before in all of our experience in tombs and the like.
Do you want to speak up?
So you're saying that this is alien in nature, then?
Maybe not necessarily alien, but something new.
Interesting.
As though it's has yet to be recorded in any history at all.
So what is your background?
Archaeologist, Yasharif.
Hello, and Adrazal. It's good to meet you. So you said you took a look at the monolith. Did you take any samples? Did you
Attempted to.
And you
Failed.
say attempted. What do you mean you failed?
As I tried to at least chisel a piece out, I don't know what reaction that had with the monolith itself, but I awoken several minutes later from
Knocked him right out.
from some reaction to the monolith.
Curious.
knocked him right out.
Very curious
Thank you,
indeed.
So I don't know.
Were you able to discern any, like, what the monolith consists of? What sort of material? Stone, metal?
Not yet. Not yet. We took samples of the dirt and stone and pushed away, so we can see.
Did you notice anything with your eye? Maybe the dirt darker, lighter? Any magical auras?
We didn't get that far yet.
We were running a little bit late.
Perhaps
because
I
of the
can, me and my mentor could be of assistance to that. We can possibly discern if there's any magic involved with the stone. If you don't mind, Lord Bonham.
As we, good Thomas speaks up and he says, as we discussed, so unfortunately, with the growing concerns around the lands here, I am needed back at the Citadel, but my plan is that to get you some experience and give you a chance to try to figure this out. Unfortunately, I can't stay, but I would like you to do what you can around here.
Yeah, I'll do my best, yes.
Get with Fenton if you need to speak with me, and he can assist in that endeavor, so I can figure out if you need me to come back at some point, or if you just need to let me know of anything important.
Yeah, excellent. I'll gather any information I can and compile a report for the Citadel as quickly as I can.
And he looks at Bonham and he says, thank you for welcoming me here, and I will send word if any new information comes to fruition. I will go ahead and take my leave at this point if everybody is done discussing what we have found so far. Good day to you all and be safe. And Bonham speaks up and says, you as well. Travel well.
I'm going to stand up and then try to whisper into his ear, and I'll say, thank you for trusting me to be the representative of the Citadel here.
Absolutely. Just be very safe. As you saw, as you've heard so far, you haven't seen yet, but things are a little crazy here. So let me know if I can help with anything, but for now I must go back.
I won't disappoint you, sir. Have a good trip. Thank you.
And
I'll give him a bow. And
okay. And he kind of just looks at you like you don't have to do that. And he makes his leave, and Bonham looks at all of you and says, does anybody else have anything else to discuss, or should we go ahead and break?
You go ahead.
Question I do have is, how many other noble families outside of the Nora have you reached out to? And what do you know of their situation?
We have reached out to 4 other areas to try to get specialists from them to come to the meeting. I haven't received word as to why they were not able to be here, but as crazy as things are, all I can do is hope that they're okay.
So you haven't heard any reports from them at all?
No. We were receiving word of the actions, but the crows stopped flying to us. We stopped receiving the messages that some are able to make through our minds.
Are there any other monoliths in the area aside from this one, even hundreds of miles away?
One of them. Let's see. I've also known that a stream down to the, what direction is that?
I would say
Southeast. He says there's one in the Dolores stream to the southeast I know of. You might want to ask around the trade district. You might get some more insight before you have to leave to check anything out other than the one that's in the main slum area.
Thank you.
And Ernesto, he stands up and he says, so I must make my leave now. I have some things to take care of, but just send word if you need me for anything. He says, thank you, Ernesto. Travel well.
I'll stand up as he leaves and give him a bow.
He says, nice to meet all of you.
Thank you very much.
And Bonham and his wife stand up and say, if there isn't anything else, we will take our leave. Please enjoy the city as much as you can in times like these. I'm sorry it's not as lively as it normally is.
Before you go, just one last question. If we need any assistance further, I know you're busy. Is there anyone else we can go to get any information or help?
Just come to the guards near the keep. The head of the city guard is another noble family here. You might want to speak with him as well if you need assistance in anything. It's House Hollowguard. It's a dwarven family. The husband, Fillmore, and his wife, Morara.
When you say that you sent messages out to the residing families in your area and didn't receive any responses, did your messenger codes not return?
They did not.
That's all. Thank you.
Aside from the rise of the cults around that are worshiping the stone, has there been any other odd activity reported? Obviously, some sort of mild madness must set in for some of these cultists.
Could be. I've also heard word that some strange activities have been seen in the forest with the animal life.
I was gonna ask.
So I would say if any of your investigation leads you into the woods, be very careful.
Well, I don't want to keep you too further, Lord Bonham. Thank you again for the invitation. And on behalf of the Citadel, we'll do the best we can to get to the bottom of this, or at least find out what we can about what's going on.
I have great faith in all of you, and I wish you well. Just keep me in the know of anything that you may find. We will do what we can to offer you assistance, but please keep in mind that there might be times that things are a little heavy to handle, and our assistance might have to be put elsewhere in those times, but we will do what we can. It's nice to meet all of you, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
You said your name is Aludin?
Alwyn.
Well, if you would like help for investigation.
Of course, yeah, I'd welcome the help. I'm actually thinking, since this meeting is adjourned, I'm gonna head out to the monolith and take a look at it now.
Sounds good. We'll just I'll meet you there. We'll make a quick stop.
No worries. And then I'll take my leave and head out to the monolith.
Okay. So as you're leaving the main gate, give me another stealth check.
16.
16. What's your passive?
12.
12. You notice that prior to him leaving, you saw one of the two leave, and he headed back into the. Well, you didn't see. You saw. Give me an insight check.
That's really low.
9.
Yeah, you weren't really able to put together that those were the two that left the one shop that I mentioned. But you do see him enter one of the shops that you know is Ogma's Insight. And then a little bit later, you see him walk out.
Okay. I'm gonna say I run up to him, and being a Kenku, I don't really speak. You know, obviously pick up words in the town, so I'm just gonna squawk at you, saying, hop in, trying to get a ride with you.
Oh, hello. You're a Kenku. I don't really see your kind too often around the Citadel. It's been years. Do you have a name?
You can some things that some Kenku will do is like you have the ability to write.
Okay.
So like if you wanted to say you had just like some paper or something and you wanted to communicate with them that way,
Parchment in my
yeah, you could pull it out and just you could write any information you want to kind of give to them.
Okay, cool.
But as a Kenku, you can pick up the way people say things. So like if you in any of your time, you've been around for a while,
Right.
so I mean you've heard a lot of people say things, so if you want to kind of relay certain phrases you've heard to try to answer his questions, you can also do it that way.
Okay.
And with your age, I think mostly you should understand how to speak common, most likely. Like you probably know other languages and don't necessarily know how to say the words.
You could kind of fashion it in a way of like like phrases you've heard. So like it might have like a word off from like a common understanding, but he would know, like with his background of like historian, that he could probably understand whatever you were trying to kind of relay to him.
Yeah.
So you can either use like the parchment method, or if you want to just speak in phrases or something like that.
Think like Bumblebee, like how Bumblebee talks. He always goes into different like radio stations and stuff.
When in
Huh?
Rome.
Yeah, so I'll go with that. I'll pull like an old piece of like parchment paper found on the street one day that I just happened to collect, and I scribbled down my name.
Just remember, it is raining,
Oh,
so that might make that a little harder. So you can kind of tell him to kind of like come over to an overhang or something, so you it didn't have
awning or
straight.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll follow him over there.
all right. So we're under the awning. I scribbled, Cork Rasper on
Cork, good to meet you. I'm Alvin. Good to meet you. Say, are you for hire, or I could use an assistant?
Yes.
Oh, cool. You know some words. Excellent. Say, how about 2 gold and anything that I need you can just sort of assist with?
Sure.
Excellent. All right. So I'll reach into my my pouch. I'll pull out 2 gold and.
Would you kind
drop
of
it
let
in
him
his
know
hand.
that you're a denizen of the city? What would you relay to him to make
I
him
would-
like know that you might know some information about like the whereabouts of things in the area?
I would have made sure to ask him. that
Yeah,
too.
because
I'll
I
retcon
figured you
that.
wouldn't be paying him unless you felt as if he would be a good
Yeah.
like, guide or something.
Yeah, well,
like
I'll
that.
retcon that and basically say that I asked if you lived here, and I do need sort of guidance around.
As you guys are
So
leaving,
we'll
you
do
do
that.
see him
And then you
over
can
to
add
the
2
side,
gold to your
kind of
equipment.
near the trade district, and he's speaking to a little bird-man. Looks like a little crow.
Does it look delicious?
There you
It's
go.
up to
You're
you.
a good guy.
Too big for me.
If you find out what's going on with him, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab my gear.
Okay.
So the monolith that's in town. Do you know anything about that?
Not much. No.
Have you noticed any strange people worshiping it, or surrounding it, or?
So you being an urchin who
Mm-hmm.
kind of like hangs out in the side streets and stuff, you've probably seen a little more weirder things
Mm-hmm.
than some other people might have, and you have seen more violent activities in the back alleys and so on and so forth. You've noticed a higher rate of like just people getting into scuffles and things like that. You haven't necessarily seen anybody like murdering people,
Okay.
but you have noticed that unlike normal, people seem a lot angrier than they normally are. So you would know that.
All right. I've seen every day, every night, people worshiping these monoliths, beating them, dragging them away from their families.
Interesting. Well, would you be so kind to guide me to the monolith then?
Sure.
Excellent. Yeah. All right. I'll follow him.
All right. So what are you two doing currently?
Keep an eye on them.
Yeah, he went to go grab his stuff, and I'm just gonna be like walking up, kind of trying to catch up to them, not really like trying to
Not trying to hide or
hide,
anything.
nothing like that, because we already talked about like wanting to take a look at it together.
Okay. So I would say you're somewhat close to them. You'd have a chance. Are you guys just walking to the monolith?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have an opportunity to kind of get up to them.
Okay, I'll catch him and be like, are you guys going to look at the monolith now? By the way, I'm Percy.
Would I know how to pronounce my own name?
Oh yeah.
Now that he's said it, you could say it.
Okay.
Oh.
Cool.
So you overheard him say your name as you wrote it out, so you can say it.
Awesome.
Being an urchin, you probably don't find a lot of people that you would, especially in times like these, that you would want to tell your name.
Right.
So it's actually kind of weird for you because it's been
So long.
so long
Mhm.
since you've actually heard it.
Okay.
So, but now that he said it to you, you could like,
Mimic
kind of
that.
mimic it.
Mimic it. Cool. I'm Cork Rasper. Nice to meet
And when it came out, it actually sounded like him.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounded very weird to you because exactly how he said it would be the voice that you had heard from him.
I don't think we actually got to introduce each other. I'm Elwin Edrazal.
Percy.
Good to meet you, Percy.
Passy.
So yeah, we're just heading back down to the monolith. As I'm aware that you and your associate also saw it, so I'm just gonna go see what I can discern from it.
Just don't try and chisel it. If you don't want to go unconscious.
Okay, excellent. I'll be sure not to do that. And then I'll just keep walking down.
Alright, so you go get your gear, and then so you'll probably show up probably about 10-15 minutes later than they will.
So obviously, it's always night, right?
Yeah.
But do I know what time it should be right now?
Around this time, I would say it's probably about, the meeting was at about 6 o'clock.
PM?
Yeah, so it's probably going to be about 7 o'clock
Okay.
by now.
All right. So once I get to the monolith, can you describe it to me?
Yeah, so the picture, actually it's not really like the picture I showed you.
Yeah.
It's more of a like, it's not a finely chiseled monolith. It's very just like you would see stone, like just a huge level of stone.
Yeah.
But it has kind of like a shape to it. Give me a, actually, Percy, give me a history check.
17.
So, you guys get up to the stone, and you kind of start recalling your friend trying to chisel into it, and it kind of, the way it's shaped, it almost looks like you've seen a lot of fossils and such that, having been buried for long times, will develop coatings of things. And it's almost like this seems like it has some sort of stone coating to it. Because it has a very distinct shape, and you're just like, I have never seen like a stone that would have a shape like this. And there might be just kind of something under the surface of it.
Okay. I would try to relay that to the three of them the best I could.
So, can you point to where your associate attempted to chisel a piece of this out?
Yeah.
Does it look like there was a chisel mark there, or?
Kind of a small like ding into the rock.
Yeah.
You can tell like the chisel kind of popped into it.
Yeah.
But it didn't do much because as soon as he hit it, he kind of went out.
Okay. So I'm gonna, if you guys don't mind, just give me a little bit of time. I'm gonna take out my spell book, and I'm gonna begin the incantation for detect magic ritually.
Okay. So you ritually cast detect magic, and the common magic items that any of you would have picked, those kind of ding, and you do get a heavy glow from this stone.
Do I know what school of magic this is?
It would be.
No.
Enchantment.
Enchantment. Interesting. Okay.
Super cool.
Seems to be an aura of enchantment magic that surrounds the monolith here. And I'm gonna inspect where he chiseled it and see.
And at this point, you would.
I'm gonna just see sort of the makeup of this. If it is rock, does it look like it's sort of solid rock going into where it was chiseled into?
Since he didn't really get to chisel too much of it, it does look like standard stone.
Okay.
The hue of the stone is a little weird compared to just normal stones.
Yeah. What's the color of it? Is it?
I would say it's a very dark gray.
Okay. Sort of like a dark granite.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there specks of other like minerals in there, or is it just a smooth gray stone?
It's not really smooth. It's more just like like the surface of like a rock you would find.
Right, but I mean,
something like
is it just one solid color, or
Yeah.
there? Okay, all right. Are there any markings on it, or?
Actually, currently there wouldn't be any markings.
Okay, it's
So,
interesting.
Is the rain having any effect on it?
Give me a perception check.
4.
Not that you can notice. Like, there's no steam or anything when the rain hits or anything like that.
Have you noticed anything?
You do notice that the people around here are just completely drenched, obviously, and they just don't care.
Out of curiosity, I would like to take, I don't know if I have torches. I would want to see if like fire reacts to it at all. So I think I would grab like one of my torches. Obviously I still have like my big cloak kind of covering me to protect me from the rain, and I want to see if I can take a lit torch over to the stone and see if it reacts to it in any way.
You hold your torch up to the stone.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happens.
I'm gonna go to the nearest commoner that is sort of worshipping this thing,
Okay.
and I'm gonna see if I could ask him a question. Excuse me.
He doesn't even turn to you. He's just staring at the stone.
Sir, can I ask you a couple questions about the stone and your fascination with it? Sir? And I'll tap him. Curious.
Seeing the sample of the dirt and stuff around it, can that tell us anything about the stone? Like any properties about it?
Well, unfortunately, when the stone hit, it's just kind of soil of the ground
Yeah.
around it.
So nothing chipped off of it at all.
Give me a investigation check.
That's probably like 9. Yep, nope, it's 8.
Just looks like soil.
Alright,
It's definitely like muddy because it's raining.
How tall is it?
I would say it's probably a good. How tall would just a one-level house be?
Can I attempt to climb it?
If you'd like.
I would like to.
Okay.
Do I notice?
You notice her walk or him walking to it.
I would advise caution. There is an aura of enchantment magic around it, so I don't know if touching it would cause any sort of ill effects.
It
I know.
does.
Were there people touching it? Some other people praying? Oh, okay, then I'll do it.
Well, I think hurting it is the only thing that causes or trying to pierce it.
Just then just out of curiosity, I'm gonna try to climb up it without trying to harm it or come at it with a negative energy.
Looks like you still rolled, even though you're trying
So
to get
as,
out.
as soon as you touch it, you begin babbling incoherently, and you see her touch it, and she just starts kind of babbling like sounds.
I'm gonna pull him off of the rock. Is he still babbling?
Yes.
Try to shake him.
Standing there babbling.
Well, hopefully this will pass. As mine did.
About 10 minutes goes by, and you kind of come back to, and you have no recollection of what just happened in the past 10 minutes.
Don't touch the rock. It seems
What are you talking about?
Yeah, don't touch the rock. It seems like any interaction with it causes some ill effect.
Did I know what she was saying during the babbling?
Give me a insight check.
18.
No real words or anything. Just kind of like.
Okay.
Thanos is coming.
Snap.
I'd say if you want to come with me, we can try to go to something to get through this stone. There's a alchemical shop nearby. they might have something to be able to help us with it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I think also investigating the woods and looking at the local wildlife and seeing what may be happening with them would be a good next step as well. There's a couple other things I could do, but seeing as when you tried to chip away at it, something bad happened, and when he touched it, when Percival touched it, sorry, Percy, it seems as if you started babbling a bunch of nonsense. It's a bit of a risky move, but I can try to identify what this thing is.
Is there anything you need from us to do that?
No, not at all. Or actually, I won't be able to do it. So forget I said that.
Yeah, I think
I'm
we
not that level yet.
get
Sorry.
some,
No, I am that level. I just don't have the materials to do it.
I think we just hopefully some chemicals will be able to help do something about the rock
That's fine. Let's
exterior.
let us head there next then, and then to the forest if everybody's okay with that.
Sounds good.
Seeing as though there's been some weird activity for us, do you want to talk with Fillmore to see if we can get at least 1 or 2 guard to come with us?
That might be a good decision. By your leave. I mean, whatever you feel we must do, that's fine. The more the merrier.
So probably make our way towards the alchemical shop.
Okay. So, Talentum Alchemical is.
So weird having Justin play like a nice character.
I was just thinking that, like not a drunk one.
Well, you're not here for.
Your drunk characters are
Oh
fun.
my gosh,
Thursday
it's
night
Thursday.
character.
No, I
Thursday,
always said
ass.
Thursday too. It's like,
So,
I'll just blast him in the face.
You're able to kind of lead them to where it is, and Talentum Alchemical is on A9, if you want to mark that on your maps.
Bingo.
Those are actually kind of useful because you can just, since you printed out all of them, you can just write the stuff down. for
Yeah,
yourself.
wherever everything's at.
As you unlock it, it appears on the map.
The fog of war phase.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, okay, I know the perfect place to go. Follow me, and I just take you down shady streets, past all these cultists mumbling, and up into the trade quarters, up to the alchemy shop.
Okay. So you guys enter.
Yeah.
All right. So you walk into the small shop. You instantly kind of get like a smell of like plant life.
Catnip?
Maybe. But it's nothing. It's nothing like you know how some like dead plants and stuff give off that like weird smell. Everything in here smells pretty fresh. And you're greeted by a kind young female furbolg.
Oh.
And she walks up and she says, "Oh, hello. My name is Fury. How can I help you today?"
Hello, Fairy. My name is Jazz.
Oh, nice to meet you. Name's Yaz, bitch.
We were looking to see what type of chemicals you had, especially ones that deal with stone.
Oh, well, right now I'm kind of low on things. This is an herbalist potion shop.
Okay.
And actually, if you could assist me with something, I might be able to help you out, but right now I'm kind of low on the things I need to make my potions.
What is it that you need help with?
Let me give you your first quest.
Side quest.
Go find place with clues.
So I have become very reliant on 2 local fishermen because near the Dolores stream, they collect herbs while they're on the fishing expeditions for me. By the way, if you find out what happens in this endeavor, I would recommend letting Agnes over at the Fresh Feast know, because she is usually the one that they sell their fish to, and she's been wondering the same thing. The ingredients for potions grow around the stream, and 2 10 days ago, the deliveries ceased, and the fishermen have not been seen since. if you want to check out and find out what might have happened to the men, their names are Thomnuk Thunderhood, a male dwarf, and his human friend Boff Stivitz. While you're there, if you can obtain bundles of the herbs growing around the water, I will offer you 2 gold per bundle.
What does the herb look like?
It is a purple herb that has a slight glow that grows on the edge of the stream.
Okay.
Have I heard of this herb before?
Give me a history check.
Is it sensitive?
Not really. I would suggest getting it to me as quick as possible so that I can store it in a proper means so it doesn't rot and
But
it's not
no
useful.
real careful ways to pull it or anything.
No, you just have to probably spend some time trying to locate them.
I rolled a 25 on my history check. Isn't that 20?
You've heard of this herb before. It's mainly used in the creation of just like health potions that you've used in the past.
All right.
Being an urchin of the town, would I know where it is or exactly what it looks like?
You've been near the stream before, and you'd probably be able to point it out once you've seen it.
Okay.
Well, see as though we need to get more of your help, and you wanted to go to the forest. 2 for 1.
Yeah.
I would
excellent.
say be very careful. The woods around the area have been unkind to travelers.
What sort of dangers lurk within the woods?
There have been situations where some of the local denizens have seen some of the crazy acting people around the stone entering the woods. They haven't necessarily seen where they've gone, and I've also heard word that the stone around the stream, the stream is used for drinking water amongst a lot of the animals. And, unfortunately, I don't think they're taking to whatever the stones are emitting from them too well.
Curious. All right. Well, would you happen to have an empty vial of sorts that I can purchase?
Of course. I actually took the list of things that are available, like through the adventuring items, and I broke it down to what like each of these shops should sell. It took me a long time to do because I literally went through it. I'm like, that sounds like it would be sold here. That sounds like it would be sold here.
Oh god.
Yeah, I got a whole list.
I just want to buy a couple of them. I think they're usually run for a gold a piece, correct?
Let me see.
We could take a sample.
Are they gold?
Yeah. I don't know.
Sure. How many would you like?
3, please. That would be great.
And she hands you 3 vials.
Would you happen to have any more vials?
Yes. How many would you like?
I'll take 3 as well.
3 gold.
All right. I think I'm ready to go. We can see what'd you say the citizen's name was that the fisherman dealt with?
The other shop owner.
Yeah.
Her name is Agnes Avicia. She is a human female, and she resides at the Fresh Feast, and that is on A10.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for any assistance you're able to provide.
The Citadel is always here to help.
Good day. Travel well.
Citadel dogs.
Some people do feel that way.
All right.
Or arrogant.
Where would you guys like to hit?
Can you take us to the Fresh Feast?
Follow me.
All right, excellent.
So out the door we go.
All right.
Just right next door.
So you enter the store.
You go there. I'm gonna make my way towards trying to find Fillmore.
Oh, okay. So Fillmore would currently be. So where are you looking?
I'll probably look.
He
I'll
told you to
probably-
kind of go to the guards, and you
Yeah.
could probably ask for him.
Yes, I'll probably go to the guards who are guarding the main entrance to the Delora.
They let you know. What did I tell you?
Fillmore.
Fillmore. Fillmore is rather busy currently. We can let him know you're looking for him, and if you need to, we'll let him. Where are you staying?
Right now we are staying at the Countess.
All right. I will give him word.
Well, if you may be able to help, we are in need of one or two guards as we go into the forest.
Unfortunately, right now, sir, we're a bit busy with some of the actions of the citizens in the slums. When we can release some people to assist, we would be happy to, but right now, unfortunately, you'll have to go at it on your own.
Just laughing at a new follower we got. I'd fat to you.
Hey,
Six,
thanks for
six,
following
nine.
my fat to you.
We also had another couple new followers to Molitor and Galvin Peak.
Hey, thanks, guys. We
And
appreciate it.
Mad King Murdoch resubscribed for 8 months.
Hey, thanks. Thanks, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark.
I did not hit her. I did not.
All right.
After finding that out, I'll probably make my way back to the fresh face.
Okay. All right. So you headed to the fresh feast.
Yep.
You open the door. You smell kind of just like produce, some other smells. You see some kind of hanging meats and stuff like that. And an elderly female human approaches you and says, what can I do for you?
Good to meet you, ma'am. I'm Alwyn Adrazal of the Chromatic Citadel, the proprietor at the alchemy shop.
She kind of just huddles up with a cane. She's
Does
like,
she have a mustache?
no.
She reminds me of the old lady.
I'm a little
from the
bit
20s.
disappointed.
See if you want some vegetables, you want some meats.
Actually, we're here on more pressing matters. We heard that your
Good, because I
supply...
don't got a lot of them right now.
That's understood. We were told that Thamnuk and Both...
Yeah, they usually supply me with the fish I sell here. Haven't seen them in a little while.
That's what we've heard. And actually, we were just looking to get just a bit more information.
I'll do what I can. I don't really leave this place too much, but I mean, if you're gonna go look for them, if you wanna maybe do some hunting for me, I'd appreciate it.
Of course, anything we can do to help. So they went missing about 2 weeks ago, from is what we heard too.
Yeah, I haven't seen them for about 2 weeks. I couldn't tell you what happened to them, but
What do they look like?
well, Thamnuk is a dwarf, male, and his buddy Boff is a human.
Any features that stand out?
Yeah, Boff is a little weird looking. He's kind of got like he like cuts the sides of his hair real short, but it's real long in the back. But then he's got like a cul-de-sac, so it's like a weird mullet thing with a cul-de-sac. Thamnuk's like your standard dwarf, I guess. Kind of a elderly dwarf. They like fishing, like I guess a lot of old people do. I don't like fishing. I just like to sit around. He's got a big old beard, kind of graying a little bit.
Red beard, black beard,
Gray,
all gray.
yeah,
Good to know.
big nose.
What was the last thing you saw them wearing?
Just your standard leathers.
So you mentioned needing some supplies. What sort of hunting?
Well, not so much hunting as they supplied me with fish. So I don't know if any of you know how to fish, but if you can, I'll pay you a gold per fish.
Okay, excellent. We'll see what we can do. I don't know if we'll be able to provide fish from the stream, as there could be a possible contamination from the stone of, I imagine you've heard is down there, much like the one here in Delora. But we'll do what we can.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to fish from the stream. If you want to hit the coast, you could probably fish there,
Okay.
depending on whether or not the water's bad.
Well, we'll do what we can then. Excellent. Thank you for your time. I appreciate
Hey,
it.
no problem.
Are we ready to head out then?
We won't have any guard assistance.
That's what I figured. They might be a little tied up with the crazies running around.
Hey, you know, if you guys are thinking of going fishing, I got these patches. You know, some people like them. It says "Gone fishing."
I don't think that'll
5
be
copper
necessary
pieces.
for me.
Hell of a deal.
I'm not much of a fisherman.
Saltwater life.
Anybody else?
I'm good, but thank you very much.
5 copper.
I'll take one.
All right. You got a gone fishing patch.
You gonna put it on your beak?
Yep.
On his beak. All right. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Does every shop have a patch?
No.
You start looking like a NASCAR driver after a while.
She hasn't been able to sell much fish and produce, so she's trying to make money somehow.
You would hand him a gold piece, so minus the gold piece. How much was it?
5 copper.
Okay, so then it'll be.
Yeah.
You can get a fucking ale for cheaper than that patch.
And then,
my ale was 4.
and then add, and then you're good to go. So now you have silver pieces and
Okay,
copper
cool.
pieces now. Appreciate it.
All right. So you guys heading out?
Yeah.
You know which way to the stream, so you can kind of head that way.
Okay.
All right.
Is it kind of like a well-worn path down to the stream?
You're gonna have to pass through some kind of. Well, you see on the map there actually is kind of a cleared path, just because you would know this. You've heard of these 2 guys, and you know that they actually have like a hut that they stay in near the stream. So there has been time where they've just kind of cleared a bit of a path so that when they're headed home, they can just kind of get there easily.
Follow me.
I'm still gonna be on guard.
Okay.
Follow me. I know exactly where they fish. That's where I get my food. All the leftover fish and dead bodies. You know, the little carcasses. That's free food, free meals, free meal.
Wait, you eat dead bodies?
Well, when you're a street urchin, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Dead fish bodies?
Yeah, dead fish bodies.
Okay.
Yeah, throwing demons out the.
I like
the
fish
shore.
and dead bodies.
When he
Do
says
you have
that,
any fish? How about any dead bodies?
when he says that, I lean a little closer and look at his eyes and see if there's any sort of he's felt any ill effect from eating the fish from the stream.
Give me a perception check.
That's really low.
Just gonna
So
follow my
3
sticker
plus
on
2 is
my
5.
beak.
5. He looks fine.
Okay. All right.
Not really sure.
Get the shakes.
Can anybody
He's
here?
just-
I imagine you probably can't see in the dark. Do you have any torches?
I do.
Might want to light one.
It's gonna be raining heavy unless there's something to protect.
Well, normally the torches can stay lit through most.
Heavy enough flame to.
Yeah, because they're oiled and stuff.
I'll say at this point it's not really like heavy rain. It's more just kind of
A
sprinkling.
drizzle,
Yeah.
like a mist almost too.
Has it been raining since the mildest?
You know this area to be it's usually kind of rainy. Like you would have days where it wouldn't be so, but it's pretty common for it to be just kind of a very moist area.
You said
Knowing,
moist.
since we're gonna be heading down to the stream, like through the woods, knowing that there's been a lot of shady stuff going on, I'm gonna have my short bow at the ready,
Okay.
just in case any like, what's the word I'm looking for? Rabid animals or something trying to sneak up. Yeah, or like creepy people.
So you guys are about, as he knows, about halfway there, and you notice a light just kind of heading down the path.
Oh, he's coming into play now.
Yeah. Ironton, one more.
So much
I'll start noticing. I'll start like going tree to tree and just kind of like seeing who's coming.
Give me a perception check.
What does a 3 get me?
You see the torch. You don't necessarily see where it's. You notice that with your passive. You can't really tell just with where you're at, like what type of person or
Okay.
people are coming your way, but you do notice the torch.
I'll like climb up in a tree near like the path just to try to see him and watch him come by.
Yeah, you see 4 individuals, one holding a torch. You can't really make out exactly what they look like, but you do see 4 kind of bodies.
I would say with like the reports of like people running about, like weird shit happening out in the woods, I would do like kind of keeping an eye out for anything that may be a danger or.
Is anybody else doing that?
Yeah.
So I would say whoever wants to can roll with advantage for perception. Are you trying to be stealthy at all, or okay?
One of you two?
I'm just staying off the path, just trying to get a.
Because I'm not proficient in perception, so.
11.
11. You hear a bit of a rustle in a tree to your right as you're walking down the path.
I'm gonna say my whiskers are kind of getting long.
I'll be more.
What does that mean?
Feels like they're getting a little bit longer.
I don't understand. I'm sorry. I'm not a.
It's okay. It's a tabaxi thing.
I'm not too familiar with the tobacco.
He's sensing something.
So you mean we're being watched? And I'm gonna look around and 13. Or no, sorry, 12.
You kind of notice the same rustling towards the top of a tree to your right.
Could be a bird or a squirrel or an animal of some sort.
Just to keep an eye out.
Are you guys getting anywhere close to the tree? Or?
No, I'm not. I'm
So
staying
as they're
away.
getting
I'd go and
closer,
take a
you
look.
see 2 cat people. You see one approaching the tree, and then you see a like an elven type person with long ears, and then you see a little crow man.
I'm gonna lean into Cork and say, keep your guard up.
I'm gonna prep it out, just blast, just in case I'm a bad guy.
So just remember, if you have a torch in hand, I would say you can still, like, if you have like a rapier or a quarterstaff. I think
He's carrying a quarter
I have a
staff.
quarterstaff.
so. You can one hand a quarterstaff. So you just, if you have like a bow or something, you wouldn't be able to use that when you have a torch out.
Right.
But I would say you could still like keep your quarterstaff at the ready if you want.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Or like if you have darts,
if it happens, I'll
you
show
could throw a dart too if you need to.
Okay.
You can also use the torch as a weapon too.
Oh, can you?
Yeah,
It's
got
just a-
stats. It's
yeah.
like a 1d4, I think.
Yeah.
Fire damage. Oh no, it just deals one
Improvised
damage.
One damage.
Yeah, 1 damage.
So you see,
So everyone like getting ready.
yeah, and
I
you
still
see,
have my short bow like at my side. Right?
I'm just holding my staff and just kind of. I'm not readying anything, just because I don't want to cause alarm.
So as you approach the tree, you see squirrels like circling up the tree, like headed towards the top.
Mhm.
Don't shoot.
Oh my
Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
Weird British guy.
Who's there?
My name's Placewith. What's your name?
Alwyn, you can come out. We won't harm you.
Are you sure people look like it?
I'll stow my bow.
I'll drop this one.
No, please come out.
I'll climb down the backside of the tree and then like look around.
So what do they see?
I am a forest gnome and normal just like hide clothes because
shoot.
no, he's got a big beard and like dreads that are kind of like pulled back, and you see like a little white squirrel that's like hanging out on his shoulder.
Oh, I also forgot to mention too. I have an owl, by the way.
Great.
His name
Is he
Orion.
currently out?
Actually, no, I don't have him out.
Okay.
I wouldn't have him out yet, but so retcon that. I didn't say that.
And what is your name again?
Plays with squirrels.
It's clever. You have a squirrel on your shoulder.
Yeah, his name is Eric. Say hi, Eric, and I'll bring out like a little net.
Say, do you live in these woods?
Hi, Eric. Jesus Christ.
Best character so far.
Ladies lives in the woods. I like it.
I look after these woods.
Have you seen any odd things happening lately?
You sound like, I was trying to figure out what you sound like. You sound like fucking old Greg.
Yeah.
I was trying to do like a Forrest Gump type thing, but we'll see how it evolves over time. Ever since the sun went away, things have gotten weird.
Like, how so?
Do you like Baileys?
Well, the trees and the animals like the sun, and since it went away, things are changing.
I love it. Fucking love
He
it.
really does sound like old Greg.
Yeah.
What are you doing in these waters, boy?
You ever drink Baileys from a shoe?
Wanna see my water colors?
Have the animals been acting weird since then, or
Mm-hmm. Everything.
your squirrels too?
Not Eric, but the other ones.
Interesting. Say we're heading down to the stream, and we need I mean, we certainly can use the help.
Seeing though you watch over these forests, have you seen a elderly dwarf and or a mullet wearing come past here?
They may have been carrying fishing gear of some sort.
Are those
Possibly.
the two guys that live down by the stream?
That might be it.
Yeah, that might be them.
Have you seen them lately?
I haven't seen them in a while.
Did you see them go to the lake?
I don't look after him like that.
Okay.
I think he looks after the animals, specifically the squirrels.
Did the animals go near the hut at all?
Mm-hmm. The animals can roam freely.
That's their right.
Well,
I like those two. They don't overfish the stream, so that's nice. What you doing in the waters?
That's so good. Oh shit!
Oh.
That's good. That's so good.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we needed that. Well, if it's not too much trouble, if you don't mind, we're heading down that way now. We need somebody that's pretty familiar. Our friend Korik here, he's pretty familiar with the lore in the surrounding area, but I imagine you probably know the woods a bit more.
Like the back of my hand.
Excellent. Well, your services would be greatly appreciated.
Sure, that's. That's fine.
Excellent.
You can't break character now.
So at this time, you would also tell them about the thing we discussed.
Oh, yeah. If I help you guys, could you help me with something?
What's that?
One of my owlbear friends is not doing so well.
An owlbear? That's his name.
I don't know. He doesn't speak.
Okay.
It's a
It's a woman. It's a female owlbear.
Does it have cubs?
There's 3 of them. She's been acting weird ever since the sun went away.
Are the cubs still with her?
I sure hope so.
Is she close by, or?
Just a stone's throw that way. Well,
Oh my god.
Fucking
I'm gonna
great A. This is so
I'm
fucking
gonna love
good.
hearing him talk the
Oh
whole
my god. Stone's throw away.
He will become the voice of the party just
Oh my
A
god.
fucking plus. A fucking plus.
that's why I'm here.
So he kind of points you in the direction. It's up to you guys what you want to take care of first, but he does say it's right down the path there.
If it's on the way, might as well.
Stop there first.
Okay. So he leads you there. How are you guys approaching?
Cautiously.
Yeah.
Stealthily.
You're doing it? Okay.
First map.
I don't wanna alert her and
Do you want group stealth checks?
Yes. Okay. Group stuff.
Okay.
not
So group stealth is easy. Basically, you just roll your d20, you do your stealth check, and as a group, everybody says whether they passed or failed. If everybody majority passes, and everybody passes.
Okay.
Since he said it was his friend, I'll kind of stow my bow, so not to.
And then you just add your
freak
stealth
them out.
modifier to your roll.
Okay. So, what minis are you guys using?
Oh, I'm gonna use this guy. That's me for now.
So you guys aren't up here yet, but I'm gonna put you around there just to.
On the rock castle.
Yeah.
What would your marching order be?
I'd be in front,
I'd be towards the back.
and I'm not trying to stealth.
I'd be behind Korik.
Yeah, I'd be behind place of squirrels.
Where would you be?
In the area.
Probably right next to Halloween.
Whose is this one?
That's me.
Okay.
No, that's.
I'd be.
Clyde.
Yeah, right there's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And where are you?
I'd be towards the back.
Okay. So you guys aren't right here yet. I'm just putting you on there for when you get there. Obviously, these are trees. I just greened them. I know they look like
Waffles.
pineapples or something. Or whatever. So you know her to live in this area here. You guys aren't up there just yet. Just so you're on the board for when you do get there. So what is group stealth?
23.
23?
9.
9.
I'm not stealth.
13.
4.
4. So you kind of lead them to the area that you know her at. You guys haven't really noticed anything yet. Are you just kind of going in full force, or are you just kind of sticking with them as they walk through?
I mean, if I know where like her den is, I'm just gonna walk in there.
Okay.
Or walk towards it.
Okay. So give me. Are you guys actively trying to pay attention to things?
Yeah.
So give me perception checks.
We just lost the map cam.
Oh, wow.
You have to turn it off.
It was working and now it's not. So no map cam.
Sorry, guys. We'll let you know what happens. We'll get that fixed though. Okay. So
Yeah, there's no. Ooh, I don't.
perception checks.
Use
20.
theater of the mind while we use a map.
Do you want to just unplug it and plug it back in and see if it helps?
It might not help, but we'll see.
Bye.
Well, that's good.
My face.
Now it's really broken.
Good thing it hit the glass instead of the wood.
I know.
It blinked. Maybe it will.
It's probably not going to come on. Normally, a reset of the computer will do it. So we're fine.
I got
So
a 21.
21. 12.
4.
Yeah.
15.
4.
4. So as you guys are approaching, you hear some pretty loud rustling coming up that way. You haven't really noticed anything visually yet, but you do notice that you hear rustling, and you also hear. Give me an insight check.
Five.
You hear some weird sounds. Sounds kind of like standard, like tearing and crunching, but you don't really get an idea of like what's going on.
Okay.
So, what would you guys like to do now?
I'm going to use an action to bring Orion out, my owl.
Okay.
I'll like tap my staff and like a poof of like smoke with like stars, it looks like in there. My owl just comes out. And after I do that, I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice. You have a friend like me.
He's a good friend.
That's good.
I'm so happy to hear that.
And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to perceive through his eyes. And I'm going to have him fly forward
Okay.
and kind of inspect the immediate area.
Okay.
I'm
Are
gonna do
you
a perception check?
doing it stealthily or just having him fly in?
Just fly in, just looking
Okay.
around.
He's an owl, so.
Yeah.
So as he flies in, owlbirds are large, right?
He is.
I don't know why it's 3. Let's see if I can find one. Just
Do you want him to roll
That's
perception?
huge. Yeah, those are the huge ones.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Where?
On the orb.
Oh, it's just basically
Like if there's multiple enemies, we can do like. So if you're like, I want to attack number 3, you can just tell us which one you're attacking.
He got a nat 20. So
Nat 20.
23.
He flies up, and you see through him. You've seen owlbears before, but this one is very gashed. It almost looks like it has like growths, so on and so forth. And as he flies up, and you look down, it appears that he is feasting on baby owlbears.
What? So I'm gonna relay that information.
She is right here, and you see her.
And she's facing that direction?
Yes, and
Okay.
she's eating what appears to be the corpses of 2 baby owlbears.
So it seems as if your owlbear friend has gone rabid. Looks like it's eating young owlbears. Did
I've
she
seen
have
this.
babies?
Yeah, there was 3. I've seen this happen with other animals, but not the owlbears yet.
And it actually it saddens you heavily because you had actually become very close to these. You would assist them in finding food, so on and so forth.
And one of my traits is I have immense empathy for those who suffer. So that works out.
So how would you guys like to proceed?
Did you see the third
The third owlbear?
cub?
Huh?
The third cub?
Did it look like there were 3 up there, or just 2?
You saw 2.
Okay, I didn't see the third.
Hopefully the third one got away. I'm sorry, but it may be time to put her down.
Probably. It won't be easy. I know owlbears are very tough.
I agree. I've had to put down some of my friends.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Tap your shoulder.
Thanks.
Your shoulder without the squirrel.
Please don't touch me.
Yeah.
Come, Eric.
So how would you guys like to proceed?
I'm gonna strafe around this
Are you
way.
guys trying to be stealthy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna
give me another
kinda
group stealth.
Get under that tree right there. This is my stealth. That's pretty good. Then Orion's. That's really good too.
So
I rolled a 17. Orion rolled 21.
okay.
Oh, 23. Sorry.
Okay. Both of you thumbs up.
My stealth is 12.
13.
12.
22 for me.
So that's good. So you guys feel as if you're pretty stealthy.
All right. So I moved myself there, and that'll be Orion right there.
I would have moved myself around as well and took out my short bow.
Okay.
I will prep an Eldritch Blast once they start.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you guys a surprise round. So each of you will be able to act with an attack. If you're trying to keep it distance and you want to throw a dart, you can throw a dart. If you'd like. So let's go ahead and roll initiative just so I know after the fact. Let's see. Get the tablet.
This dice sucks.
Okay.
So surprise. It's not really necessarily a thing in D&D as a surprise round. Basically, there are surprised and unsurprised creatures, and so if you're surprised, then you don't get an action or a reaction during that round.
And then if you are surprising them, you get to roll with advantage because they don't know you're there yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 20 to 25.
Did you roll your initiative? Okay. And then you add your initiative modifier that's up there.
15 to 20 right there.
I got 18.
18.
Yeah, I roll garbage too.
10 to 15. 5 to 10.
9.
I had a 9 as well. She can go first, or he can go first.
I had 8. Okay. What are your dex modifiers?
My dex
Yeah.
modifier +3.
+3,
+1.
+1. So
Normally, if there's a tie, depending on like DM discretion, you can decide who wants to go first, or you know, you can do a tiebreaker with dex. Doesn't matter.
okay.
And then Orion rolled a 6.
Okay.
I rolled a 4.
Jeez.
Eric isn't really real, so he's just there.
So you go first.
Okay.
No.
I want to be like, now is the time to hide Eric. And then he'll climb back in, or he'll climb in my backpack in the back, and then I'll step out 5 feet,
Okay.
and
Here, you gonna give me that?
Yeah. What's distance?
So it's 5 foot squares.
Okay. Is there a max distance that we can move?
Yeah.
wherever
So
you're-
your movement right there.
so you can move 6 squares.
Okay.
I'm gonna reach down and grab a couple pebbles, and bonus action, I'm gonna cast Magic Stone,
Okay.
and then I'll ready a pebble with my sling, and I'll just I already talked to Eric, so I guess that's fine. But I was just gonna try and like soothe it because it is my friend, but I just in my head I'll just be like, but I'll
Okay.
hold my action and wait for it to like
Come
actually
at
turn-
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it turns around and comes at me, I'm gonna.
I'll say you'll still get advantage just because it's since it's technically the action of your surprise round.
Okay.
So if you do sling it, you'll still get advantage.
Okay.
Percy.
Oh, I don't know if I
This
want
is
to
you
be the
right
first
there.
one to shoot it.
It still all counts as a surprise. So basically, consider it like you're all going to release at the same time.
Okay, then
Yeah.
I would have readied my short bow. to
Because even if
go
it
off.
turns
Do you wanna
around,
stay right
like
there?
it's still a surprise.
Yeah.
Do you want to stay right there?
No, I want to move closer to like where you are, kind of behind that one tree.
Right.
Yeah, that should be fine as long as
Okay.
I can like
So
shoot
you're
it from
going
there.
to shoot it with your bow.
Yep.
Alwyn.
You can move however you want. You can move diagonally or.
Just if you pass through one of your buddies, it's 10 feet because it's difficult terrain.
Okay.
I'll say like if you're moving through like the brush where the trees are, that would probably be difficult terrain as well.
Okay.
And then you could probably imagine that there's a tree trunk in those trees, so you can
Right.
kind of move around it. But
And you can get like up to here basically if you want to close in on her
Okay.
and attack her. But it's up to you. So it's my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to ready a. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to raise my staff, and my hand grows like a thin layer of ice on it.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Frostbite
Okay.
on the owlbear.
Okay.
So I need a con save.
16.
Passed. And that's my turn.
Okay.
Stay right there.
You're Al.
Yep. So the owl is going to
Or
fly.
no, yeah. Orion. Sorry.
Okay. 15, 20, 25 up there. So the owl's going to fly there, and it's going to start like distracting the owlbear. So it's going to give the help action to the next person that doesn't attack roll. against
I'll
it.
consider it just for the action when initiative starts. It can hold till then because all this is happening. at
Yeah,
once.
basically just the.
Yeah, because
the-
technically everybody gets advantage right
Yeah.
now, but I'll say it'll count for when initiative actually starts.
Okay. So it starts distracting. It gives a help action, and then it's going to fly back. 25. Actually, it can get right back next to me because
Okay.
it's got flyby, so
Okay.
it doesn't
Yep.
provoke attack of opportunities.
Yes. This is a large stone, by the way.
Okay.
So anybody who wants to do something, you would just have to kind of get over to get in line of sight of it.
No.
Oh. Did you skip him? Because you're last in initiative,
Yeah,
right?
I have a 4.
Yeah, I did. Sorry.
Okay.
His first combat.
Okay. So what did you want to do?
I would probably go behind the large stone between the small one and the large one.
This one.
Oh,
over
right,
here.
yeah, that square right there.
Okay.
Also, you can peek around and toss a dart if you want to.
Okay, so this is like in just like in the woods, right? We're just like,
Yeah.
and pretty much all of us need that torch to.
Not all of
To
us,
see.
just you.
Oh, just
You're
me.
the only one that doesn't have dark vision.
Okay.
You can drop it.
Yeah, I was thinking of dropping it, and then just ready my quarterstaff.
Okay.
So.
You gonna stay there and just ready your quarterstaff? Okay. For when it runs towards. Gotcha. Okay. And then what did you want to do?
Can I see it from where I am?
From where you are, you would have to go over probably. If you go behind Zane, you could probably see it from there.
I was shocked.
All right.
Right there.
So at this point, everybody who held something, we'll start with you.
Does it move?
Yeah, it's technically
Top of the round now.
yeah. So everything is going to go off. So you can go ahead and
Okay, that's
roll
fine.
if you want to.
So when you have a ready action,
Mm,
and you're waiting for something to happen,
12?
you then use your reaction
12?
to spend your ready action.
That's with advantage.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
No,
I
I have no idea.
just missed it.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, man.
In every round,
Percy.
you have an action, bonus action, a reaction, and a free action. Essentially,
20.
whatever you want.
20. That'll hit.
So most attack,
Go ahead and,
all attacking, will
roll
have
damage.
spells cost an action to use. Some a reaction or bonus actions. So your offhand attack, you can use
11
bonus
points
action
of
to
damage,
attack twice,
piercing damage.
Like I was telling you with your first attack, you hit with it.
Okay.
And bonus action.
Okay.
Alwyn already went.
If
Korik. So it you can say that Albert moves into his distance.
okay, like right there.
Yep. And then go ahead and roll your attack with advantage.
So 2d20. So because you have advantage, so you roll 2 of them and take the highest roll.
Oh, shit. 16 and
Plus your modifier right there. So it's plus 5. So this is your attack
Oh, I
modifiers
see.
right there.
Okay.
Yep, you
Yeah,
hit.
so
So
21.
you're doing it two-handed, so it'll be a D8 plus your
So-
attack bonus.
Here, I'll put it right here. So you see how you have the versatile thing right there. So if you use 2 hands, the damage is 1d8 plus 3 instead of 1d6.
Because you're like hitting them with more power
I
because
see.
you're using both
Yeah.
hands.
So you use a d8, which is that guy right there.
Got move him out of the
Yep.
way.
Yeah. Pretty good. So 7 plus your modifier on your attack is 3. So 7 to 11. I don't know why I had to do that math in my head. So you would do 11 bludgeoning damage
Okay.
with your quarterstaff.
Cool.
And then you can actually let go with one hand, and as a
The-
bonus action,
the
you can do an
unarmed.
unarmed strike.
Okay. And yeah, I would like to do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Go ahead and
do
roll
the
advantage.
What am I rolling?
So go ahead and roll another d20, 2d20, because you have advantage. So 13 plus your modifier, so that's
5.
so 18. And he'll tell you if it hits or not.
So normally, like if you hold an action, it would just be your main attack. But
Oh yeah, I forgot
since
about that.
it's fine though, I'm gonna let it go. Just because it's technically all like a surprise round anyway, so that's fine. We'll say that your hit was the trigger for everybody to go off. So yeah.
So go ahead and roll your d4.
I thought did you do 5 damage?
That was his modifier.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it'll be that roll plus 3.
What was that? 2?
Yep. So 5 bludgeoning damage.
And then yes.
So that's pretty good. In one round of
blessed.
combat, I'm not able to do that one.
A 17
17, that'll hit.
So it's always really good that when you use your quarterstaff, use both hands. Use
for
vertical.
8.
And
8 force
because
damage.
unarmed strike doesn't require you to pick anything up. You can just let go and punch. Cool.
All right, he's or she's starting to look pretty bloody. So now initiative starts. Please with.
I will hit with another stone.
Does he have advantage from the owl?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because you're the first one to attack, so.
Well, good. 15 plus.
That'll hit.
For 8 years. I don't think it matters on an owlbear,
Okay.
but 8 bludgeoning.
Okay.
And then as I see it getting closer, I'll just step 10 feet back.
There.
Yep.
All right. Person.
I'll go to shooting with my arrow. Something plus 5, 12.
Just misses.
Okay.
So the arrow flies
Okay.
off to the side.
I need to keep track of my arrows.
Um, so I'm gonna raise my staff. I'm gonna cast frostbite again. So I need a con save.
7.
That fails. So she's gonna take 1d6 cold damage. So it's gonna be 5 cold damage that she takes,
Okay.
and she has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll it makes before
Okay.
the end of its next turn.
All right. It's his turn or her turn. She's gonna turn to you.
Okay.
She's gonna try to strike you. So disadvantage on the first
So
one.
when he's rolling an attack against you, keep an eye on your AC there.
21.
So that's above your AC, so that's gonna hit.
If it hits the number or is higher, it hits you.
Okay.
8 damage.
That fucked you up. So
Yes,
up there
it
at the
did.
top, type in the number 8 and then hit the damage button, and you are bloodied as all fuck.
All right. Second attack. Woo! It's at disadvantage though because you don't know why.
Because I ate its babies.
14.
That misses.
Miss.
All right.
Good.
Next up is you.
So there's a few things you can do. Obviously, you can just try to attack it again. You can also,
So it's looking bad.
Okay.
and then you can also run away too. If you try to run without using the disengage action, it can take an opportunity attack against you. But if you decide to use your action to disengage, you can move away from it without getting attacked by it.
So what are all your passives?
13.
12.
Say once you get used to it, like strategy wise, it just went. And
So
everyone's trying to hit it. So if you stay there, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 people that are gonna hit it, and you just kind of hope it dies before
Yeah.
it comes back.
So
to
I will
its
say
center.
this:
Or you can run
being
away.
right there, as the owlbear came up to you, when it first hit the light, it reared back.
Oh, interesting. The light of your torch.
JC's the only one that noticed that. Would I know that? Since I've been in the forest and dealt with. You can, if you know, that's fine.
I would
Or I just
say,
run it right now. That's
yeah,
fine.
right now.
Okay.
So reared back. So I'm gonna pick. Yeah, I'm gonna pick the torch up. I think I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna pick the torch up and I'm just gonna hit it once with the torch.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could still hit it with the quarterstaff if you wanted to. but
It wouldn't
it's up
be
to you.
versatile though, because you're holding the
So, it
torch.
would,
now.
but it would still be more damage than the torch would.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally up to you.
Like I said, you could just like role play it. There is 4 other people that are technically trying to damage it also.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm just gonna pick up the torch and kind of just like keep it close.
Okay.
So, and then I think that's gonna be my turn. I think I'm
Okay.
just gonna.
Do you, well, you could
Dodge.
dodge, and then
That's
that
another action.
Dodge is a good one.
Oh, really?
yeah,
Yeah.
and then that means it just for the next until your next turn, anything that tries to hit you has to do it at disadvantage.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. I'll do that then.
Okay.
It's a good move.
Orion.
So Ryan's gonna fly up to her and again distract her
Okay.
as best as he can,
then
giving the
fly
help
back.
action, and then fly back.
Yes.
Eldritch Blast.
You have advantage.
16.
That'll hit.
So there's if you look at action and combat, it'll tell you all
Four
the different
force
things that
damage.
you can do.
4.
That's how this brother's trying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Play.
I will pull my 3rd stone. This is my last one, and try to hit him. 8.
Nah, that misses unfortunately.
And then I'll stay right there.
Okay. Percy.
I'm gonna shoot it again. That's 11.
That misses, unfortunately.
Okay, that's fine.
Alwyn.
I don't have any good attack spells that require spell slots, so I'm going to cast Frostbite again.
Okay. That is a 9.
She fails. So, going to take 6 cold damage. And she has disadvantage on weapon attacks for the next turn.
Okay. All right. Her turn.
I was hoping we would get it down.
Probably
15.
What was that?
15.
15. That's a miss. All right.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Second attack. Even less. Yeah, less than that.
Cool.
Swing, swing, miss, miss. As you
dodging
see
out of
her,
it.
Yeah.
she tries to bite you, misses, and then she tries to claw you and misses. Your turn. She's looking really bad.
I think I'm gonna go for another hit with my quarterstaff.
Okay.
I'm gonna, I guess, I drop the torch and then just ready at the quarterstaff, or is that?
Yeah, you could drop it,
Yeah.
and then you could do
Yeah.
it two-handed.
Okay.
It drops a free action. So
Yeah.
I'm just like,
So you don't have advantage on this hit, so you just roll 1d20.
But you do have 2 hits.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's going to miss.
Yeah.
8.
And then he had your strike.
Yep, so
You
you
roundhouse kick it.
so you can roll use your bonus action
And
roll
that's
a d20 again.
D20.
Yep. That's better.
Yeah. That was +5, right?
Yep.
So 16.
That'll hit.
And then roll a d4. 1
One.
plus 3.
+3, yeah, 4.
That was 3 more than you needed.
Roundhouse kicked her right in the fucking neck.
And she rears back, and then she falls to her side dead.
Nice. Do we want to take a break?
Sure. All right, we're gonna take a break, and we will be back in like 10 minutes.
We'll be back.
Welcome back. Hope you guys are all still here.
Yeah.
Whenever we take a break, it's like, oh, 3 people left. It's like, sorry, we have to freaking pee sometimes.
I know.
But we thank you all for watching this. We hope you're enjoying it. It's going to get kind of crazy soon. So just to give you guys a little bit of an insight as to some of the ideas I had for this homebrew. If any of you have played the game Dead Space, I was thinking like how cool would it be to have like a Dead Space-esque story in like a fantasy world. So hope you guys enjoy stuff like that. I like that type of horror stuff, so that's what I want to make. So you guys just finished killing this crazed owlbear.
Mm-hmm.
What would you guys like to do right now?
Loot the body.
I would like to draw some blood from it into one of the vials.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Give me a
Medicine check?
yeah.
I gotta get some help with this anyway.
I mean, I could try to help. I'm not
Just,
necessarily the best.
Just if I poke it to at least make sure the vial is capturing everything.
Yeah. No, that's not a problem.
I'll walk up to Kinku and I'll just I'm sorry she hurt you. I promise she didn't mean it.
You say that true?
And then you
Medicine.
regain back 4 hit points.
16.
Oh, sweet.
So I'll cast Cure Wounds on you.
So you kind of cut into the owlbear, and when you go to start taking the blood, you notice that it's very like coagulated, like it's very thick, and it kind of you get it into the vial, but it's kind of like slower drain than you were expecting.
That's almost like an oil, it seems.
And I guess for my archaeologist tools, would I have something kind of like tweezers or anything like that? Like pick up small things?
Yeah.
So I would like to cut a piece of the growth
Okay.
and put that into a different vial.
Okay. You'd have to kind of cut some small
That's
like
fine.
pieces and put it in there. That's
Yeah,
fine.
that's
You can cork it up and bag it. What else would you guys like to do?
I want to look at the baby owlbears and see if there's any semblance of they were infected by this as well, or if they're just a
Okay. What are you doing?
casualty.
After I healed him, I'll also walk up to the owlbear and I'll put my hand on it, like, sorry, friend.
You want to walk up? So give me an investigation check.
15.
You don't see any growths on the babies, and the blood that's kind of on the ground from them does not appear to be as thick as the one that he just took in the vial.
Oh, while everybody's doing their thing too, once I'm done helping him get the blood into the vial, I'd like to start ritually casting Detect Magic.
Okay. While you're doing that, play. You're kind of while you're touching the owlbear, you hear it from this
Is that a
area over
baby's
here.
cry?
I will. I will get up and start walking again.
Okay. So you walk over to the brush area and you see a little baby owlbear head poke out.
Does it look like normal?
Give me a perception check.
14.
You look and the baby owlbear looks fine.
I'll like get down and like, come here, buddy.
He recognizes you and he comes up.
And I'll just like, how big is a baby owlbear?
It's pretty big.
I imagine it's probably medium sized almost.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'll pick them up, but I can't. That's hey everybody, I found a friend.
What's this one saying?
It hasn't told me yet.
George.
I don't pay attention because I'm casting the spell right now.
And I can speak with small beasts, not with out there. So
Your detect magic goes off and you only get the pings from the common items that you all have.
Okay. Yeah, other than the items that we're carrying, there's no other magical ores that I can detect around here.
Is the blood a different color than me?
It's darker than you would expect it to be as well.
Is it like your shirt color right there, the maroon?
Darker than that.
Really?
Probably like the darkest red you could.
Whoa.
Think of.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
I want to give one of my rations to the baby owlbear.
He eats it.
I don't know if we should. Did we take this owlbear kill with us? I mean, I don't know how it's gonna survive by itself.
Well, I think we leave that up to Mr. Squirrels over there. I think he probably would know the best course of action for this baby.
Sounds good.
I think he could tag along if he wants, and then if he doesn't want, he's allowed to leave.
So do you start to walk away?
Yeah.
He
See if
follows you.
follows. Okay.
Do we have any oil? Anybody have any oil?
I don't.
I do.
We want to pour some over this body.
We already have a lit torch.
No, just so that it makes sure it catches the body.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying we have a lit torch ready. We can light it once you pour the oil.
Okay.
I'll pour some oil on it.
Alright. You light it on fire and it starts to cook.
Don't watch, buddy.
So you now have a baby owlbear cub.
Yay!
Following you around. Plays with
You might want
owlbears
to find
now.
a safe spot for it until it can defend itself a little bit.
I'll defend it.
Well, I'm
You get a little baby Bjorn.
on behalf of the Citadel. I want to apologize for what's happening to the creatures of your woods, and hopefully we can solve what's causing this.
Are you saying that it's your fault that the sun went away?
No, we're doing our best to figure out why the sun went away. We don't know yet what caused this eternal eclipse, but I said the title. I said the title of the movie in the game. But we're gonna do whatever we can to help.
I appreciate that. I hope the sun comes back soon.
It would be nice. Shall we continue then onto the stream?
Yeah. Let's go to the see if the guys are at the hut first.
Yeah.
On
To
the
the
way.
hut. Yeah.
Now that you helped my friends, let's go find your friends.
Well, they're not necessarily our friends, but they're friends of acquaintances. So.
That works too.
All right, to the hut.
Alright. So you kind of lead them the way. You know as well. So you both kind of, are you taking the forefront? Are you hanging back because you got your owlbear? Or...
Yeah, I'll just
Okay.
kind of wherever he's moseying, I'll just come this way.
Did you tell anybody about what you saw
In regards to what?
when you reared back?
Oh, no, I did not. So I will. Yeah, so when the owlbear charged me and got to the radius of the torch, it reared back almost like it was terrified of it.
All I see is like subtitles.
So you're saying it was afraid of the fire?
That's hard to say. I'm not sure. As soon as it came into the radius of the light, it just.
Maybe being in darkness for so long.
Perhaps. I mean, that's a good point. I think we should test this theory out some more. I think that'll give us more answers on.
Do you still have your torch lit?
I believe so. Yeah.
Um,
It should be.
It stays lit for an hour.
Yeah.
Hella lit.
Can't see what that
So, not to hurt the baby, but just shine it towards the baby to see what happens.
Okay.
You shine it towards the baby and nothing happens.
So maybe it being sick is what did it then.
Yeah.
Affected.
Well, the appearance of these monoliths and the eclipse and this affliction certainly have to be related then.
I'm surprised that the babies weren't affected.
Yeah. I mean, they're young.
Yeah.
We're finding out more, I think. So maybe we can get some more clues when we get to the cabin and see what happened.
Onward.
All right, onward to the cabin.
So you get kind of towards the area that you know the cabin to be at. How would you like to proceed?
Cautiously.
Yeah, stealthily.
Okay. Give me like a marching order, just in general.
I'll
We
be
can
towards
move
the
the
back
names
then.
later, but so who would be at the front?
I guess I would be if he's watching over the baby
Yeah.
out there.
I'll be behind him.
Okay. And then,
Yeah, sort of in front of her.
so
but
you're
behind her.
in the middle, and then you two are at the back.
Yeah.
Okay. So give me stealth checks. Group.
One, you're fine. Yeah. I roll 2 because I got to roll for my owl too.
Right.
17.
Good.
16.
Good.
13.
Good.
9.
9 for me, and 19 for my owl.
Okay. You guys feel as if you're pretty stealthy.
Okay.
As we are approaching, are there any lights on in the hut?
Lights. You see no light sources. You start to come upon, like, you hear the running stream, and then as you enter in towards the end of the area. Let's see.
And I'm gonna attempt to communicate as best I can for the owlbear to walk slowly. I don't know how well it'll work. But
Guessing that's the outside of the.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the blue is the stream, and then you have a couple trees
Toss me
around.
those minis real quick.
So before you actually get up to the front,
and you can just, I think, grab the black one, and that could be the owlbear. Because he probably won't be large at this point.
No, in medium.
so as you guys approach, let me see.
Is that a dice tower?
That right there, yeah.
That's awesome.
It sucks though.
Oh,
Apparently the dice get stuck.
good thing I bought it as a visual.
And then if you can reach, grab one of those.
Yeah, this one right here.
Yeah, black
Put the
that'll be
owlbear behind you.
So as you guys approach, you see something standing by the water. Give me perception checks.
I'm actually looking at something this time.
Pin that right there.
So, would y'all roll?
It's a 13 for Orion and a 16 for me.
Okay.
18.
20.
20.
18.
Alright, I need wisdom saving throws from all of you.
Great.
As you approach the stream, you look and you
So,
see
here are your
something
saving
that
throws.
looks like this
Oh, shit.
D20.
standing by the water.
That looks nice.
Oh, lovely.
Think
So
I
you
rolled.
take that roll and you add it to your saving throw wisdom.
So 13.
8.
What'd you get?
16 and Orion got.
I'm gonna say Orion doesn't
Okay.
fucking care.
13.
13?
Yep.
13.
8.
8? 12? Sorry, one more time.
16.
13.
13.
Alright, so you and you, it affects you when you see this.
So if you ever get conditions, there's a little condition thing. If you click up there, it brings up a number of different conditions.
You
can
fall
click
to the
and it'll
ground
tell you what they do.
unconscious.
Okay.
I'm rolling high as shit. I was at 98. 97. You fall unconscious.
Holy
Your
shit.
2 party members just fall to the ground.
Does it notice us, this thing?
It has not noticed.
Be quiet. Since he fell unconscious in front of me, I'm going to try to shake him awake.
Okay.
Wake up.
Give me a medicine check.
Okay. Well, that's good. 19, 20, 21.
You're able to awaken him,
Uh-huh.
and you open your eyes and you have no idea what just happened.
Well, I'm on the ground again.
Because of that creature up there, and I point up there towards the stream.
What
And it's facing like towards
Give me a wisdom. No, I'm just kidding.
It's some sort of
It's looking
abomination.
out. It's
What
not looking
creature?
at us.
I'm gonna look back and see Percy on the ground too. I'm gonna try to wake him up as well. That's a 1 plus 2 is 3.
You don't awake.
Percy's not waking up, guys.
I'm gonna reach down and grab some pebbles and cast magic stone.
Okay.
I'll try to awaken.
While he's doing that, I think I'm going to cast something too. Go ahead and do your thing, and then.
I got that one.
Does the creature have a mullet?
Mm-hmm.
Does the creature have a mullet?
Oh.
Give me a perception.
That's a good question.
Oh, 3.
Can't tell.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion
Okay.
at the water right here. So that's my maximum range. And I'm gonna cast like a big bass fish, like kind of flopping around on the shoreline right there, like, and it's sort of like flopping on the
And you
ground.
see him walk up and just start trying to stab it, and is kind of confused that it's just passing right through it.
I'm gonna see what he does, and I'm gonna cast the same minor illusion like 10 feet farther of the bass on the shore.
Okay. Same thing.
Starts wading into the water.
And then after it kind of realizes that it's not doing anything, it turns around, sees the torchlight. Roll initiative.
All right.
Do I roll at disadvantage because I'm unconscious?
No, you just roll normal.
Okay.
Did you see my
Might
message?
as well
No.
roll at disadvantage.
I gotta step off.
You're,
Something up with the kids.
So initiative. So you just roll a d20 and then add your initiative modifier. So.
That's great.
And you said just add it. The
Yep.
initiative, right?
Yep, your
Okay.
initiative to your roll.
Uh, 15 to 20.
21.
You have 21.
Yeah, 21.
What's your dex mod?
+2.
2.
And yours is your dex modifiers up at the top, or that top row of skills.
Right there.
Yep, so +3.
+3.
Okay. 10 to 15.
16 for me.
Um,
7.
7.
So you, since you fell unconscious, remember you drop all your stuff. You're incapacitated.
Mm-hmm.
So you drop whatever you're holding. You automatically fail strength and dex saving throws. Attack rolls against you have advantage, and then any attack that hits you from an attacker that's within 5 feet is a critical hit.
All right. Cork,
Yes.
your turn.
Oh, and Orion rolled a 2.
Oh, okay.
Is there a radius to the light of the torch?
Yeah, it should tell you when you click on.
We're
the
gonna
item.
retcon since he had to step out. He was the one who's unconscious and you were awake.
Oh,
He what?
cool.
Yeah, since he had to step out for a few.
Oh.
So you're actually, he was able to wake you and he's still unconscious. So that'll-
Okay.
yeah.
That's fine.
Unconscious.
What's the black one?
That's the owlbear.
Oh, okay.
Didn't matter.
You can take it out.
Okay. It runs off to safety. Run, little one.
All right. What would you like to do?
Can I throw the torch? Like, is that possible to throw it like?
I'd say you could use your action to throw the torch.
Okay.
So basically, be like a.
Like kind of like just throw it in and. So I mean, if it notices the light and it's distracted by the light, and you just throw the torch, hopefully it'll turn away from us and then go right towards the light.
Yeah, maybe.
It'd probably be just dex.
Yeah, so it'd be like
just
a
give
dex.
me add your dexterity modifier and proficiency bonus, and then roll a d20.
All right, so
it'll be 4 plus 2 plus whatever you roll. Or
3 plus 2.
3 plus 2. So add
Yeah.
5 to whatever you roll.
where do you see the 3 and the 2?
So
Oh,
that's
the
your
3
dex
and
modifier and then your
bonus?
proficiency bonus. Yeah.
Okay, so 19.
Where are you trying to throw it to?
You probably have like a 30-foot range of it.
Probably up. You said 30 feet, so then I guess right here, right?
Okay.
So 5,
Somebody
10,
got a
15,
D4 we
20.
can use? Actually, I got one. Like right here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then
And what's the range of a torch?
it
Light
was,
range?
I think 20-foot radius.
Okay.
Of
So-
dim light.
Oh,
No, so bright light 20-foot radius, and then another 20 feet after that is dim light.
so
Okay.
if it sees us, it will probably end up seeing us. But
All right.
let's hope this works.
Did you want to move anywhere?
No, I'm gonna stay put.
Okay.
Yeah.
Play.
I'll go hide fend, and then I'll sling a magic stone at it. 22.
That'll hit.
8 bludgeoning, I think. Yeah, bludgeoning.
And it's a magic stone.
Not sure. Hold on.
Should tell you in the spell, right?
You touch one of 3 pebbles and endow them with magic. The magic takes bludgeoning to spellcasting modifier.
Does it say the damage is considered magical?
Yeah.
I think all it does is it makes the damage higher.
Yeah, it moves it from a D4
So,
to
but
a
it's still
D6.
not considered magical.
Yeah, it moves it just from a D4 to a D6.
So how much was it?
8.
So it doesn't appear as if it did as much as you hoped it would.
Okay.
Fuck. So there's some creatures that have like resistances to non-magical attacks.
Mhm.
So like bludgeoning, piercing, slashing. If you're attacking with like a non-magical weapon, sometimes it'll take like half.
I'll stay right there.
Okay. All right. Alwyn.
So I see all this going on. I'm actually.
You did see him rear a bit when the torch
light
flew by.
Okay. So I'm gonna shout. Hopefully this keeps him at bay, and I'm going to raise my staff and I'm gonna cast grease. I'm gonna say. I pick a point and it's a 10-foot square. So I'm gonna cast it like right here.
Okay.
So so all of this right here. No.
You control.
Yeah. So where did I pick? Right here.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, right here, and then in the water, if it works in the water, right there, it's all grease
Okay.
that appears on the ground.
Okay.
And when the grease appears, each creature standing in the area must succeed on a dex saving throw or fall prone. A creature that enters the area or ends its turn there must also succeed a dex saving throw or fall prone.
Is it flammable?
It doesn't say whether it's flammable or not. It is grease, so I mean it's possible that it's up to you. But
I know some of those things say like it is flammable, it burns down, and one D4
I'd say
burns.
it's just.
it's a slick grease that
yeah,
covers the ground.
it's more of a terrain obscure type thing.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And then I'm going to move kind of into the brush over here.
Okay. All right.
So their turn.
And this is where my support role comes in.
And when it gets in there, it has to make a dex throw.
Yep.
3.
He fails. He is prone.
Okay. So he moved 5, fell down.
Oh, and it is difficult terrain too.
Yeah. So he's going to use half his movement to get
That's
up.
another creature that just stepped out.
And he rears. He rears when he gets near the torch, and he tries to leave. It's to head towards you. So it would be half of their remaining movement or full to get up.
It's I think technically half of their movement. So
he moved 5, 25, take 15. He has 10 feet, difficult terrain, 1 step. So he
Yeah.
can get there. and then he is going to dash.
Yeah, so if you fall down, it's half your movement to get back up. So if you have 30 and you're prone, 15 to get back up, and then you can move.
So he entered.
You move the remaining
Mhm.
steps. Okay.
Yeah. Because one round is 6
17
seconds.
Steps
So you think
passes.
getting up, you're
It's
like
still
oh,
difficult
Yeah,
for
it's
him.
time.
so 5,
Get out
10,
in 6 seconds.
15,
so half your
20,
movement, so you can't move as far.
25, 30, 35, 40.
And then if he ends his turn there, he needs to make another deck save.
Well, I'm good at that.
6.
He fails, so
he
he's
falls
prone.
prone.
Yep. Do you have the markers?
Yeah. I just have to find it.
Yeah,
You want me to look while you do your thing?
I haven't modified those yet. One day there'll be magnets at the top, and I want to put.
Can you
little
put this
flags.
in the bag when you're done, dude?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Oh, those are cool.
We all save their stuff.
Yeah. Well, this is like extra stuff that people normally make.
All right. Is it 3D printed?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Percy.
I would probably step back a little bit and try and shoot the one who's in front of my Genku friend.
Okay.
That would be 20.
That'll hit.
Unnatural 20. And I have a friend in 5 feet.
I don't know if there's a prone one in here.
There should be.
There should be.
6
Six?
piercing. Yeah, 6 piercing damage. Non-magical.
All right. Seemed to do everything you thought it would.
Oh, okay.
Orion.
He is going to do a flyby on number
Distract
2.
number 2?
Yep,
and then
distract
fly
number
back?
2 and fly. And he's not going to fly back here. He's going to fly into the bushes over here with me.
Okay. Corey.
I'm actually gonna. Can I can attack and then move, correct?
You can. So if you move anywhere, number 1 would get an attack on you at disadvantage because he's prone. But he would still, like if you wanted to move around without disengaging, he would still, since you're technically moving out of the radius of number 1, he would get 1.
Okay.
But if you move too far, then number 2 will also get 1. So you'll get 2 attacks against you if you try and run without disengaging. But
Yeah.
if you disengage, you can run just fine.
Okay. And does that
So number
does it count
2
as an action so I can attack and then disengage,
Yeah.
or you can either do attack, move, or just disengage?
Disengage.
Yeah, you would have to use your action to disengage.
Okay. Well, I'd like to disengage then.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can move for everyone.
I can move the full distance, correct?
Yep.
I'm gonna move right here in the brush or trees or whatever this is right here.
Okay.
Right there. So, I didn't have to roll anything for disengage or
Nope.
anything like that. Okay. And
Is there no prone one?
No.
That's weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's kind of a temporary thing.
Yeah.
It's just knock
Yeah.
down, stand up. So
Just remember number 1's prone.
Yeah. I love
Um,
these things. So
is that it?
Cool.
Because you don't have the key to disengage thing, or
He could have had a bonus action to offhand attack too.
not only if he hits though. You have to
Oh,
hit with
that's
your
right.
action.
Yeah, because he's
so he's still unconscious, right? He's like passed out. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we able to wake him? Like, could I do like a mimic cry of like a screeching
I would say
woman
to,
from the streets?
to attempt to wake him, you
Yeah.
have to use an action to try
Okay.
to wake him up.
Okay, then no problem. Then I'll end my turn there.
Okay. Play.
both of them are there. I'm gonna try and incorporate this squirrel more in because I'm gonna make him more special than a normal squirrel. I'm gonna kind of like curl my hands, and Eric's gonna come out and run down my arm and do like circles in my hand, and then I'm gonna do thunder wave.
Okay.
On both of them.
Oh wow.
All right. So what
Con
save?
saves.
Con save. All right.
The one that's
Uh,
prone.
Number 1 rolls a 9,
That's a fail.
and the other one rolls a 9.
That's 2 fails.
So they push back 10 feet.
2d8 and then push back 10 feet.
Okay. Just straight back.
Yeah, I would have done it in that direction. And
And then the one that's prone is just like.
7 thunder damage.
7 on each.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna
Thunder with you.
incorporate the squirrel into like how I cast my spells.
Yeah.
So number
So I'm
two,
making it more.
actually both of them are now looking bloody.
Okay. And then after that, I will step back 10 feet to the edge of the map. And I am now out of spell slots.
Yeah, I am too.
Sucks only having 2.
I know. We'll get there though.
Yeah.
Let me look up something real quick. Okay, next up is Alwyn.
So I see number 2 is still pretty close. So I'm going to raise up my hand, turns into ice, and I'm going to cast Frostbite on number 2. He needs to give me a con save.
17.
He passes.
Sorry, man.
No, you're good. And then I will just stay there.
Okay. All right. Their turn. So number 1 is going to use half his movement to stand up. Oh, you ran back, right?
Yeah, 10 feet.
He starts his turn there, so when he stands up, he's got to make a dex save. Please fall down.
21.
That passes. So he's still up, but he's in difficult terrain.
Okay, so
So the player.
so that was so
Wait, what?
5, 10 dash
The play areas like the actual like where we're at. Like,
Yeah.
right? Is that like
2.
like game specific size or?
I mean, most games use a standard grid like that because it's basically just 1-inch squares.
You can use
Yeah, there's hex too.
Okay.
But D&D, it allows you to use either the squares or the hexes, but generally it's always like 5 feet.
Well, what I mean is like the play area. How?
Like,
Yeah,
kill
it allows you
Lawrence
to,
while
like,
he's
something
not
like this
here.
allows you to draw whatever you need.
I mean, is that like just standard like play areas, or are there? Can you make like the room as big as you want?
It's,
or-
yeah, big as small as you want. Yeah, we have bigger maps and stuff that we can use. There's some other maps that we use right there too.
Oh
So this
wow!
is like
Yeah.
an entire
Yeah.
building.
Yeah,
So like first floor, second floor, and then it keeps going up. So.
yeah. That's
Oh,
our
that's awesome.
That's from our Thursday night game.
Yeah. But I mean, Corey's campaign, he can make up whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Things are like this big, this small.
he's going to try to claw at you.
Okay. Oh god, he moved right to me.
Yeah.
I didn't want to kill Lawrence when he wasn't here.
Oh, come
So
on.
we'll just kill the noob instead.
14 to hit.
It's a miss.
Okay. And the other one had to dash to get to you. So, Percy.
Since he's not back, I'm not gonna try and wake him up yet. So I would try. Does my Genku friend still look bloody-ish from before?
No, he doesn't.
No, he
So
looks
normally-
I
fine.
healed him a little bit, but
So for the sake of RP, we normally don't give out like how many current hit points we have. So it's easy to kind of say like I'm injured, but I'm not bloody. Bloody being like
If you're half or lower,
Yeah.
you're technically bloody.
Okay.
So that's the way of saying like I need help because I'm looking bad.
Okay.
Which of the two bad guys looks the
technically
worst?
this number's
Number 2.
Okay, I'm
So
gonna
I
shoot
could be like, because
him.
I can
Okay.
heal you, be like,
Right.
well, how many hit points do you need?
Yeah.
Right.
I can do this, but I'm like,
It's kind of
Bloody,
naive
what you need
a little bit.
Yeah, I got
Kind
it.
of takes away from the play of the game, you know.
from
10.
hurt to 32.
Piercing. Yep.
yeah.
That
That's where
arrow
I'm
goes
at.
right through his head and he falls
Right
down
about
dead.
Yes. Killed
Number
it.
2 is dead.
My first kill.
I got number
Nice.
2.
Yep.
Nice.
And I would move this way, maybe like 15
I'll get you.
feet.
This way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so I'm not too close to shoot number 1 if it gets back to me.
Orion.
So Orion's going to fly over to number 1 and attempt to distract him again.
Okay.
So giving the help action to the next person to attack it.
Okay. All right.
And he's
so
going to fly back.
at this time,
Oh, great. Do these look the same?
they do not. They look like this.
Oh, what the fuck? Nice.
That. They look like that.
It's kind of hard to see, but they look dead.
We'll post pictures on Facebook so you can kind of see like the ideas of these. Guess what these things are from? These pictures.
Dead Space.
Yeah.
Dead Space.
I mean, a game that kind of looks like Dead Space.
He
so
rolled
it could
a
be copyright
10.
issues.
That's a fail. So
Okay.
he'll fall prone once he steps in there.
Prone. Stand up. 5, 10.
And then
He will dash.
Okay.
Okay. Number 1 is going to try to attack you.
Okay.
17.
That's a hit.
Okay. Sorry, man.
It's part of the game.
Yeah.
We won't let you die.
Okay.
Well, I'm on that spell slot, so we'll have to wait 8 hours.
So you
Oh,
take
there you again.
5 slashing, or hold on, I was rolling on the wrong thing. This is a 16. Does that still hit?
Yes.
Okay, so it's
So if it equals my
Yeah,
roll,
then
unless
it
it's
hits
a
your.
hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
so
15 and below is
you,
what?
you take 5 bludgeoning damage as he swings his arms into
You're
you.
still up.
Yeah.
I'm missing both my wings. Half my beak's falling off.
He is looking
You're,
bloody.
it's being held together by the sticker.
Yeah, it's being
Gone
on the
fishing.
sticker. Yeah. Gone fishing.
Cork, your turn.
I don't know what I can do.
Disengage your run again.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna disengage again.
Okay. Go ahead and move your.
Is there space on the other side of this of the cabin, or
Yeah, there is.
okay?
Yeah, it's probably open forest, so you can just move wherever you want. If you want to move back 10.
I'm just gonna move back.
Trees.
Here.
Trees.
Okay. All right. You all done?
Yeah, I'm all done.
Play.
Yep. So I'm gonna try to turn the squirrel into my druidic focus. If that's alright.
That's fine.
Carrying
So
the twig
number
that you
1
need.
is looking bloody.
Okay.
Red.
Red one.
Yeah, red one.
Big red one.
Big,
Is
big
it red
thumb.
round?
Big thumb. Number 1, what else do I got? So we're gonna try this, see how this works. So Eric's gonna come out and he's gonna turn a bright red, and then he's just gonna, I'm just gonna it's gonna channel down my arm and come out, and I'm gonna do produce flame at number 1.
Okay. So produce flame would be a ranged attack, right? I'm gonna say
you cast this spell because spells.
because you can technically throw it, and that would be the ranged attack. I'm gonna say because you can technically produce it in your hand.
Yeah.
You can do it as like a melee, like flame
Okay,
punch.
okay.
That's fine.
Thought it would be a melee attack rather than with
A
your
range.
strength.
It's still my spell casting modifier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's, you can roll it normal instead of disadvantage,
Okay.
and just kind of flavor it as you're just punching him with like a flaming fist.
That's fine. Eric's punching him. 15.
That'll hit.
Six fire damage,
Okay.
and it kind of produces. The fire sheds bright light for 10 feet.
Okay.
I don't know if that helps anything.
Okay.
Just
He rears back when the flame lights up, and he's looking bad, but he's still up.
okay. That's all I got.
Okay. Alwyn.
All right. Blue number 1. I'm gonna wave my icy hand in front of him and he needs to give me a con save.
Okay. 8.
That fails, so he's going to take 6 cold damage, and he has a disadvantage on his next weapon attack roll he makes.
Okay. Number 1 red's turn. He's gonna try to claw you.
I'm probably going down. I have light AC.
12.
Ooh, no.
Lucky.
Percy.
I'm
So
gonna.
number red 1 is looking real bad. Blue one took some damage, but he's not looking bloody yet.
I'm gonna shoot red one.
Okay.
Fire.
17.
That'll hit.
Okay.
What did Bill do
6
that one time?
piercing
He's like, oh,
damage.
who's full
How
health?
do you kill
Alright,
him?
I'm gonna try and hit him.
I'm gonna
Bill?
shoot him right in between the eyes
All right, and he falls over dead.
Nice.
to my kill count.
My kill count.
That's good.
Okay.
Definitely good.
All done? Or are you moving?
I'm gonna stay right where I'm at. It's a
Okay.
good spot to see everyone.
Orion.
He's gonna fly up to blue one and attempt to distract him. So
Give him that.
about 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, he can make it back to where he's at.
Okay. So number 1 is gonna move up to you,
Okay.
shuffle up there, and he's gonna attack you at disadvantage
All right.
because you did
Yeah, the frostbite.
9.
That's gonna miss.
Okay. Well, 10, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other zombie is gonna try to hit you.
They're zombies, guys.
Um,
They're really easy to hit but hard to kill.
15.
Yep.
Okay. For 6 bludgeoning as he slams into you. Good. All right. Cork.
I'm gonna throw a dart at
Okay.
1.
Okay.
So what do I need?
D20.
D20.
Yep, roll a D20.
Okay.
Pretty good.
What do I have to add that? 10?
Yep, you're a hit modifier, so that's next to your dart.
Should be
you,
+5.
So if you
Oh,
look
okay.
at,
So
yep,
yeah, +5. So 20.
That'll hit.
and then roll your D4, and then add 3 to that because that's the modifier for the damage.
Okay. So 7.
7.
7 piercing.
How far does your light go out?
Let's just produce flame. If
It's
it's
fine.
gone,
So it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
It
then
would
this
have been
is
just a flash.
5, 10, 15. So he's within the radius of the bright light from the torch.
Okay. So how much was it? 7.
Yes, 7. Yep.
Mine was just like a flash of.
Yeah.
Okay. Staying there.
Yeah, I'm gonna remain there.
Okay. Play.
Same thing again.
Alright.
Go for like the punch, and Eric's gonna be bright red and come down and kind of hit at the same
Okay.
time.
Turns into a little flaming
That'll hit.
squirrel.
Yeah.
and just-
Ow. 2 fire.
2.
And every
Or-
little bit counts. Number 2.
Number 2.
You're not welcome in my forest.
You're pretty good at that.
I like the voice, man. It's so
Alan.
good. So number 1 in front of me, I'm gonna raise up my icy hand and cast frostbite again.
4.
Fails. So it's gonna take 2 cold damage, and it has disadvantage on its next weapon attack.
All right, it's looking bad.
Little damage, but the disadvantage on attacks is nice.
Percy.
I'm gonna shoot blue number 2.
Okay. Ooh, number 2.
So what is
That is 22.
So
That'll hit.
earlier you rolled advantage and you roll 2d20 and you take the highest. You would roll 2d20 and take the
6
lowest. So instead of it being 11, you would roll a
Well,
3
number 2.
What is
Two-
that,
blue
3?
two,
Oh,
yeah.
So that 3 would go towards the attack that he does.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
So it
Orion.
forces the bad guys to roll disadvantage. Again, he's going to actually stay on number 1. He's going to use the help action
Okay.
on number 1.
Okay.
So the next attack on number 1 is as advantage.
He's gonna try to hit you. He has disadvantage.
Yeah,
10.
that fails.
Okay. Number 2 is gonna try to hit you.
Mm-hmm.
17.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going down?
Or 3.
Oh no, that's awesome.
Oh, I'm in 1.
So is he.
All right. Cork.
I'm gonna throw another dart at 1.
Okay.
So 12, 5, 17.
That'll hit.
Does he get advantage though because of the?
Oh yeah, you would have advantage. So go ahead and roll to see if you get a crit.
That's
Yeah, roll another d20. No,
Seven.
so
Oh,
no, it's still your first.
Okay.
hit.
Let's go ahead and roll damage.
6.
6.
Yeah, so with advantage, you'd roll 2d20 and take the highest.
Barely hanging on.
So we just had you roll just to see if you made it crit, which is
Play.
better.
Same thing.
So when you crit, you roll.
Since these are on like succession, he's gonna like go down this arm and then hit, and then he's gonna run back around and run on this
So
arm.
you take 2d4 and roll.
16.
Add it
That'll
all
hit.
together.
Okay. 4 fire.
Okay. Alright. Percy. Or wait, no, Alwyn. Sorry. 15.
Passes.
Okay. Percy.
I'll shoot number 2 again since I have been.
Okay.
That's gonna be unnatural 20.
Yep, that hit.
8 piercing.
Okay.
Have you been using your sneak die?
Yep.
Okay.
I only get 1.
Oh, nice.
I know it's depressing at first.
Looking real bad. He's still up. Orion.
Same thing. Gonna try to distract number 1. Use the
Okay.
help action. Fly back.
So number 1's gonna try to hit you regular.
Yep.
16.
That's gonna hit. I wish I had a spell slot. 'Cause I can shoot.
For 2 bludgeoning.
Oh wow. That's good. I'll take
Roll
that.
bad on their damage, and then the other one's gonna try to hit you. Nat 1.
Oh, nice. So
Are
nat
you
one's
using
on.
the crit table at all? No.
So
Okay.
nat ones on attack rolls are automatic fails. No matter what your modifier is, if you were to hit, it's still a fail.
Just like a 20 is an automatic hit,
Automatic
no matter what.
Okay, cool.
Alright, you guys got lucky. Cork.
I can move then attack, correct? Like, does that
Yep.
matter what?
No, you can
order?
do it however you want.
Alright, so I'm gonna move.
Gonna use some melee damage. Oh, if you run by him, you're gonna take.
Oh.
Well, you can do it.
You just say you move in a way that doesn't come in
Yeah.
within 5
Yeah,
feet.
so you can go like around him. You don't have to run necessarily right by him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just go like horizontal and then run.
So I can go. That counts
Yep,
as 5,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so there
So
you
the
go.
5.
You just can't really give us no 12 feet above
I'll
him.
do stay right here. And then what is the range of the dart?
You're
20.
within range, definitely.
Okay, I'm gonna throw another dart at 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have advantage. Because the owl, right?
Yep. So
Should I roll another?
roll another d20. That's pretty damn good. Almost a crit, but not.
16. So
Plus 5.
plus 5.
Yep.
21.
So
That
21.
hits.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you kill him?
Oh,
Oh,
shit!
Yes.
Where does the dart land?
Right in the anus.
You are facing his backside.
Right in his. Oh, I am, aren't I?
Yeah.
Just right in the lower back, like right
Okay.
in the spine.
And he kind of just like
Just,
jumps
yeah.
over and then
Yeah.
falls to the ground.
Hurtles over and just.
Fuck yeah.
Alright.
Do you want
Play.
me to remove him or keep
Yeah.
him there? Okay. I didn't know if you had the zombie ability to.
Is number 2 bloody?
Yes, he's looking very bad.
Okay. We will go
2
for
kills. Yeah.
another. Uh-oh. 9.
That'll miss. Wait. No, it is.
3 fire.
How does it burn him up?
Just on this final one, Eric's actually gonna leave my hand and just like wrap around his head a bunch of times and then come back to me.
So he leaves and it looks like the head is burned to a pulp.
Nice.
Alright. You guys are out of initiative currently.
Fuck. We made it through with you being unconscious the entire
Yeah,
time.
we swapped.
swapped.
roles.
Sounds good.
Alright. What do you guys like to do?
I'm going to make sure everybody's okay, as kind of do a visual inspection, see who's bloody, see who's not. So who's bloody?
Am I still unconscious?
Eric seems okay, but I'm hit.
You're hurt, and then you're bloody too.
Yes.
I'd go
bloody.
try and wake my friend now at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to do a
Yeah, give me a
medicine
medicine check.
check? That's 4.
Yeah, he's gone. So we're out of combat now.
So you guys kind of hang out for a few minutes, and about like 6-7 minutes later, your eyes open and you awaken.
What was that thing?
Good morning, sunshine.
Welcome back.
I'll help you up. Hold out a hand and then kind of do my best to help you up. I'm not the strongest person, but I can get you on your feet. Well, it looks like these abominations were not happy we were here. We should probably look at them.
How many were there?
4, and I should point out to all the body, like there were the 2 ones with the fucking crazy hooky hand things, and then there was 2 sort of zombie-looking ones too.
Funny enough, when I went upstairs, the video playing on my TV was Dead Space.
Nice. We should probably take a look at these bodies and see if we can make identifications on what these things are.
I haven't seen these before in my forest.
Never have.
Sure. I'll draw some blood from one. See if it matches the blood of the Albert.
So the 2 ghouls seem to be bloodless because of how they were opened up. Some sort of. Give me a Arcana
Here
check.
they come.
I'm listening. Hello.
So I'm
You
the
can
first.
give me an Arcana check.
Yeah. 13.
You get that despite the fact that they're bloodless, obviously, like most things like this, they were being held together by some sort of magical aspect.
Knowing that, I'm gonna cast as a ritual, detect magic.
Okay.
So I'll
Okay, so
start doing
he's
that.
he's starting to cast that as a ritual. What would
Take
you
me
guys
10
like to do?
minutes.
I'm gonna take out
And
my,
Grease has now dissipated.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take out my horn of silent alarm, and I'm gonna blow it and call back the
Albert. Okay. He comes back up to you.
And he's the only one that hears it. So everyone just sees me like blow, but there's no sound. Only the owlbear hears
So whatever you want to do here, you can do like investigation.
Were there any, I know
For, like,
Blazel Squirrels asked earlier if the one had a mullet. Is there any like identifying features on any of them that could indicate that they were once the humans we could be looking for?
Give me a investigation check.
So you can right now we don't have it anyway.
That's a 3.
3. You look at them, and unfortunately, any hair they might have had has fallen out.
We'll cover that when we get to
One of them does look shorter than the other one, though.
Restores all of it. And restores
Could I pass on my idea to somebody else maybe?
the long rest
Sure.
once every 24 hours.
Okay.
I think these look like the people that we were looking for.
They look way different than the people that moved here.
But do you think they could be them?
What are you saying? That they are like reanimated dead?
Possibly. I can't tell with my knowledge, but if one
mean,
of you could take a better
One of
look.
them looks much shorter than the other one did.
Okay. Has my detect magic gone off yet?
Hold on.
Do you think our friends transformed into these things?
Could be possible. I mean, necromantic magic is known to do that.
It's not allowed in my forest.
How
I don't
weird.
appreciate this.
Till probably 4, I think.
Oh, I thought
Is that how late we're playing till? 4?
We can. It'll be done soon.
Okay.
We might play a little past 3:30, but not long.
Okay.
We'll probably just finish up
getting
this.
really hungry.
That's what I got. You want to have some of my Funyuns?
Sure.
Here you go.
Thanks,
Yep.
bro.
You're welcome.
So your detect magic goes off, and you get an aura from the corpses that are on the ground, and then just all the common items.
Is it the magic school I expect to see?
Yes.
Necromancy? Okay. Yeah, there seems to be a necromantic.
You get a necromancy feel,
Yeah.
but you get the feeling that. Give me an insight check.
Okay. That's really low. 7.
It doesn't feel like standard necromancy though.
Okay.
Like like you've studied this before, and you
It's-
feel like
I haven't seen necromantic magic like this before.
No.
Okay.
Should we check inside that hut?
Probably we might want to stay on guard though. Is the hut door still open?
yes.
Okay.
So when you approach the house, you get a very strong smell of like rotten fish.
Oh,
Makes my hair stand up.
And the blood was the same.
Well, the two ghouls didn't have any, but the two other ones, the zombies, you were able to get some blood from it, and it was thick like the other.
Up to how many you have. You can recover darts too.
Okay.
So you just gotta like.
Oh yeah, I want to recover some of my arrows.
Yep. There you
Really
go.
quick earlier.
Okay.
And then if you want, you can tell the DM,
Mhm.
okay, I want to recover the darts I threw. It should, depending on what he says.
So you guys walk in the house. You see a very like horribly kept house. Obviously, beds are all broken up, nasty sheets, and like I said, you see some bins of like rotting fish sitting inside there. And you see a crate, and then what looks to be like a one of them looks like a sealed crate, and then the other one looks like a just kind of like an open one. And you see some like things sticking out of it.
Is my detect magic still up right now? Is there
You
anything?
don't get any aura inside.
Okay. How long does it look like this cabin's been in this condition?
You can give me a just like a intelligence check.
Okay. 10.
You're assuming it's probably been like this for a little bit of time now.
Okay.
You can't really get an exact.
All right.
You guys investigate.
Protract.
Okay. Give me
On the- on the
perception
crates.
check.
Perception check.
Yeah, to see if you notice anything that stands out to you.
That's 12.
12. You don't notice like anything is trapped in either of the crates.
Okay.
They don't appear to be locked.
Any blood splatter or anything there?
You see like rotten fish, like half-eaten fish, stuff like that, but no. You actually do see some blood splatters. Give me an insight check.
That's a 15.
You kind of get the idea that the blood splatters on the grounds, it might have been part of whatever transformation might have happened to these things, because you saw like their rib cages were exposed and stuff like that.
Did we identify the bodies?
Tried to.
I'm gonna step outside and see if I can try to discern who they are.
Okay. Give me a
I'll assist them. Things I've dealt with.
do an investigation at advantage.
Okay. Oh, that's really good. 24.
You kind of get the idea from the clothing they're wearing, their heights, that it appears to be the heights of a standard human and a dwarf.
So probably
This could be Thamnook and Ball. I mean, all the evidence points towards that. Now, what happened to them, we don't know.
Do you have any models of?
I have 3, but I'm trying to keep these for my own samples.
That's fine.
What do you need it for?
Some of the water.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I can, but I wanted to get closer to the monolith. And
That's
get a
fine.
better
I mean,
sample
seems
from
those in
there.
the water, so.
Yeah. Do you guys want to? What time of day is it? Do we know about what
This
time?
time you're approaching probably 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Take off.
Do we want to try to board up the door and sleep in here for the night?
Throw out all the rotten fish. I
Yeah.
think that'd be fine.
Toss the fish into the river and then take a long rest in here.
Maybe not in the river.
I agree.
They're
Could
rotten.
you not toss the rotten fish in the water?
Well, however,
Into my waters.
whatever means of disposing of them, however you see fit, that's fine. We can follow that.
That's fine. We could just put them out back for right now.
Okay. All right.
Can I recover my darts?
So you can add those on there since you have.
You guys looking in the house at all, or?
Yeah, we're.
So the open crate has 2 sets of fishing tools.
Okay.
So 2 rods, some like bait and tackle stuff.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to take those, they are
What
welcome.
would be the ability to go fishing?
Did you hear that?
Dexterity.
There's tackle box in here
I'll
with
take
bait tackle.
But if you're
fishing
not
rod
proficient
into
with
if you want to take that.
fishing tools, then you would not add your proficiency, but you could add your dex to it.
I'll take one just in case.
I actually have a chart that I made, or if you guys want to go herbing or fishing, I created a chart, and you just you roll, and then I tell you like what you find.
Okay.
Is anybody else pretty dex based that would want the other fishing stuff? 'Cause I'll
Cork,
take
would
one
you
if-
like to take it?
Yeah, I would like to take some of the
That's
fishing
fine.
supplies as well.
Okay. Whatever it's called in there, is it just fishing rod or is it just like fishing tools?
I'll look and see.
Whatever it is, there's 2 sets. You open up the closed one, and you actually find
Fishing tackle right there.
like
So
a,
you did that, like,
something that was rigged to try to keep fish
and
for a little bit longer. And you actually find some fish
there it
that
is, and then just hit add.
appear to be normal fish. So if anybody wants to inspect them for their quality, you're welcome to do so.
I will. I'll do a nature check, I guess.
Yep.
That's what it is. 14.
14.
Excuse me,
Bless you.
So give me a so you got a 14.
In nature. Unless you want something else.
You're able to find 5 fish that seem like they are actually healthy fish.
Cool.
Found 5 fish in here. We might be able to eat those.
We can prepare them. Yeah, that'd be excellent. And we can all just funnel in here and board up the door. And is there any furniture that we can move to?
Yeah,
the
you
front
can
of the
move
door?
the broken up beds just
Okay.
and kind of make like a makeshift barricade.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and start doing that. So we're all inside the hut. We're gonna barricade the door and then attempt to take a long rest in here. If you're okay with that.
Can I do an insight check to see if not only the water but the proximity of the monolith itself had any ill effects on them?
You can give me just give me an intelligence check.
I also would have told you too about the necromantic aura that I found on their bodies.
11.
11. You can tell that the monolith it's pretty close to the cabin. You get the idea that any of the happenings around here probably could have been caused by just the proximity of the stone to where they lived, so on and so forth.
If this is the response to human bodies,
Well, we've already kind of seen what happens to animals.
but I'm saying if this is the proximity that humans have to it, the lore might be in some real problems if people are this close to the stone.
I agree. Yeah. Let's rest here for the night and make our way to the monolith in the morning. And after we do our investigation there, we can try to gather what stuff we need for the town, and then head back that direction. If you guys are okay with that.
Sounds good.
All right. Cool.
Sounds
good. All right.
So you guys keeping watch?
Yeah. I'll take first watch.
Okay. Just establish your watches. The night actually does pass uneventfully. You hear some noises, kind of like standard horror movie noises in the woods with birds and such, but nothing dangerous really comes into proximity.
Okay. So you hit the long rest button up top, and then just hit take long rest.
So you guys awake. You unboard the doors. It appears like nothing's outside. What would you like to do?
Are the bodies still there?
Yep.
Not fish here,
No.
but I will go look for the plants that she needed.
Okay. So I will say
I'm gonna consume a ration for the day too.
per hour you spend You can choose
And if you have
one person to roll advantage with a survival
subtraction,
check.
you can just the minus button, and you're good to go.
Yes, I'm thinking.
What does that actually do?
You.
So you need to be able to,
like
you have to
survival?
eat every
No.
day, and that
Yeah,
ration's
plus
good
two.
for enough food for one day.
Does anybody have survival?
That
No.
plus 2 and proficient.
So whoever wants to roll with advantage for an hour spent looking for herbs.
Anybody else? So proficient in survival?
I'm not proficient.
Right.
No, you're not
Okay.
proficient. You're not proficient in survival?
Hey, that's pretty good.
Oh.
Nature and medicine
Okay.
and religion.
That's pretty good. Dirty 20.
You had to pick survival.
You were able to find 12 bundles of herbs.
It's pretty
Do
good.
you guys want to spend some more time, or do you want to just?
I don't mind. More
Yeah,
rolling.
on the way, yeah, on the way to the monolith.
Those better grow back.
They will. They will. I'll drop in 1 more hour, see what I find.
Okay. Roll survival at advantage.
6. Oh, sorry, 7.
7.
May I ask why you're collecting so many flowers?
To be able to help her facilitate the creation of potions.
Her being the proprietor of an apothecary in town.
What's her name?
I didn't catch it.
Her name is Fury.
So you're able to find 5 more bundles before you kind of get the feeling that probably your friend here tells you that probably don't want to pull up too many of them.
I was gonna say, I like her. She's usually nice to me.
I think this should be enough.
Okay.
And we can make our way to the monolith.
All right, cool. Yeah, so we'll head to the monolith. then.
It's right by the house.
Okay. Oh, it is right nearby. Okay.
If that's all I was worried about the problem.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So when we get to the monolith, I'm gonna cast detect magic ritually.
Okay. Same thing as the one in town.
Enchantment.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna take out one of the vials and I'm gonna take a sample of the water right next to the.
That's fine. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
You don't notice anything.
Can I take a look at the monolith and see if the markings that you said I saw and didn't recognize, if they're on this one as
Give
well?
me a perception check.
That is 20.
So you kind of circle the monolith. It's in the stream.
Mhm.
So you guys would have to get into the stream if you wanted to kind of go up to it and check it out. You kind of circle it a bit. You don't feel any weirdness in the water, but
Do you like the water?
I don't, but
So you can
my
get it.
curiosity overpowers that.
so you notice that there is an entire section that has been chipped away on this, and just like the picture on our icon, you see like almost a slight red glow coming from a darker colored stone that was lying beneath the one there, and it's kind of like lines of them.
You guys might want to come see this.
Does do I get any other magical aura from that chip away, or is it all just like stronger enchantment? Okay. So we can sort of see inside the stone a bit. Does it look?
It's more of a smoother texture stone, dark,
Okay.
like a dark gray, almost black granite.
Is it like obsidian almost?
Yeah,
too,
and it's
color?
got like a slight like red glowing lines that are just like etched up on the texture.
Okay. I'm gonna take out my notebook and I'm gonna just start like drawing this out and jotting it down. I'm also gonna use another vial and take a soil sample. Or if does it look like there's pieces of the monolith?
Of the rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of chipped and just kind of sitting. And
Are there
underneath the
like
water.
smaller pieces that I can fit into the vial?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna touch it, but I'm gonna like scoop it
Okay.
into the.
You get a couple small pieces into the vial.
Okay.
I want to see if I can scoop up like a rock or something around me and try and like throw it into the opening that was shipped away and see what happens to it when it hits the.
Okay. Give me just a roll with your dex and proficiency bonus.
So 7 plus 5, so 12.
Yeah, it hits it, plinks off of it, and just falls into the water.
Interesting.
Nothing out of the ordinary, other than the thing itself.
Looks like the rock passed out too.
Like your friend.
Oh, I guess I didn't see it touch it, so no.
All right. So what do you guys want to do?
Do we hear any wildlife nearby or anything like that?
Give me a perception check.
Nope.
Seems pretty quiet.
Okay.
Any fish in the stream?
Give me a perception at disadvantage.
I got a sample of the water here, and then a sample there's of the mud.
You see some
Some of
fish
it.
floating around.
Oh wait.
Floating as in like they're dead, or
It seems as if there's fish swimming, but you notice that they are swimming further away from the stone.
Gotcha.
Almost like a natural avoidance.
Does a fish count as a small beast?
Probably tiny beast.
Then can I attempt to like stick my hand in the water and attempt to talk to one?
You can.
So I like stick my hand in and no, try to get like a fish to come near me.
It comes to you, and you don't. It doesn't talk to you, but you get like a feeling of they're being erratic and they're avoiding this thing pretty heavily.
So I got a sample of the water, and then there's a big chunk of the monolith that's chipped away, and I managed to get a small sample of it as well.
Is there anything below where that truck came out?
Well, if you look inside there, the rock is a lot smoother, darker, and then there's like these glowing red lines that are in the rock. It's still giving off an enchantment aura, so there's nothing much else we can discern from it right now. I took a drawing of it in my notebook here, and you know, that's as best as we can do right now without having to touch it physically. But we know what happens when we do that.
The fish definitely don't like it. They
Well-
seem very distraught that it's in the stream.
I would be too.
Or possibly this as I point at the dead bodies.
Yeah. Well, I think we should make our way back to town and get away from here.
Do you want to fish while we're down here? Seems though this stream does go to the coast.
I'll fish.
Seems though we can do some fishing instead of in the stream itself, but
Move back down towards the coast and fish down there. That's fine. We can do that.
have a fresh fish supply instead of whatever this monolith is giving off.
That's fine. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So how many hours do you want to spend fishing?
I'll do 2.
2. You want to do 2?
2.
So I'll say each of you who are fishing can roll regular, and give me a survival check.
15.
15.
And survival.
Am I at that?
Yeah. Okay. So 6.
You get 10 fish. You got a 6.
Yeah.
You're able to get 3 fish.
Oh. Okay.
Did you eat all 5 from the night before?
I didn't. I had my rations.
I did a ration.
yeah, I need to mark that off.
So you had found 5 fish the night before.
Okay.
So
I
we
would
have.
be one of them.
You ate 1, so 4. So add 4 to whatever your total
You're
is.
gonna add 4 to it.
Okay.
And
Do you want to keep? Who wants to keep track of the fish?
I am keeping track of the ones I find.
Okay. So just keep track of how many fish you catch,
Okay.
because we can sell those.
Alright. So you guys head back to town?
Wait, is that just for the first hour? Or do we need to roll for the second?
Oh yeah, roll for the second.
4.
You get 3 fish.
And then if you want to fish for the second hour, he is. We can try to catch some more.
13.
You get 10 fish.
Nice. Cool. All right. And head back to town.
Yeah.
Alright. So, who are you heading to first? Your
Let's,
travel ends on a point.
let's go back to Agnes
Okay.
first to give her the fish.
Fish, that's right.
Yeah. All right. So we'll walk into the store.
Hello, Agnes.
So you're back.
Yes. We got some fish for you, and you were telling us they were give us a gold for fish.
Yeah, that was the deal.
I got 13 fish here for you.
Hand them over. 13 gold pieces.
Very good.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I've got 15 fish.
15 gold pieces. I know it seems like a lot, but as you can see, it's kind of hard to come by right now. My main supply was gone, so whatever I can get.
And we actually have some news regarding that.
Oh, thanks.
Ben Nook and Both are presumably dead.
Christ. Those boys were a bit daft, but definitely didn't deserve a fate like that. Well, I appreciate you helping me. You know, the offer's still on the table whenever you want to bring me some fish.
Try to tell people to steer clear of the stream for now.
Will do. So, you know, if you guys are planning on helping me out in the future, I think I can give you something that might help you out.
Sure.
And she brings out a long pole. She says, this might help you with your fishing.
Oh, cool. Who wants it? You want to take it?
Yeah, I'll
Or-
take it. Do you have survival proficiency?
No.
Yeah, I'll take it.
It's kind of special. So, hope it helps you out.
Cool. Long pole fish.
I'm gonna give you your 2 gold back.
Hey, make sure to
I'll do this for the long haul.
All right. Excellent.
make sure to let Fury know about this. I know she
So you didn't
relied on
do
them
that,
boys
but-
too. So,
I won't refuse it.
thanks again.
Are you channeling the old lady from Monsters Inc?
Mike Wazowski.
I'm watching you.
All right. To the herbal shop then.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
see Fury.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Fury.
How are you?
Oh, okay.
Did you say she was a friend of yours?
I like that lady.
Do you recognize?
Hello, little one.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm doing good, except all the commotion with the boys.
So, did you hear anything about the fellas in the woods?
They are no more.
What happened?
We don't know
They
what
just died.
happened. We did find their bodies though. They are dead.
It's terrible news.
But on a brighter note, we did find some herbs for you.
Oh, let me see.
And I'll give her the 17 bundles I have.
Oh, that's quite the number.
34 gold, I think, total.
Mm-hmm.
She says, thank you very much for your assistance. Here's 34 gold pieces. Do with it what you will. And for your troubles, I know that must not have been a great sight to see, so I'd like to offer you a potion of healing.
Oh, thank you.
So, if you come across any more of these herbs, please bring them to me. I'd be happy to continue to pay you for your assistance. And thank you again.
Also, I think we want to make you aware too. Just, I would be cautious on who you decide to send out into the forest.
Especially near the stream.
Yeah, to steer clear of that monolith. There's a lot of dangerous things out there that we did encounter, and we won't divulge further detail because it is kind of horrific, but it's dangerous out there for common folk.
Well, what you brought me should help me out for quite a while. So, but like I said, if you want to venture back out there, it seems like you had the abilities to make it through. So,
Well, we survived. It wasn't easy, but we survived.
So on the topic of what I asked you when we first met, do you have anything to help alchemically with rocks and chemicals or anything?
I mean, you could always try acid to try to break them down, but
Do you have any?
if you see me tomorrow, I could probably whip some up for you. It's quite a pricey endeavor, just to give you a heads up.
It's gonna be 34 gold.
It'll be 25 gold pieces for a vial of acid.
Okay. That's fine. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
We're done. Yeah,
So we'll probably wrap it up there for now,
it's a good stopping point.
and we will start back for the next day once we return. Hopefully in a couple weeks, unless it kind of interferes with any scheduling. But hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was interesting, and we will see you again.
Yeah.
Woo!
Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Send it.
Oh my god.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.